Denham Springs High School football is on the air. Denham Springs High School football broadcast, a John Fine production, on Family Radio 91.9 FM Baton Rouge, on the net at johnfineproductions.com, and on YouTube. Please subscribe at DS Jacket Vision. With Yellow Jackets color commentator Mitch Covington and producer Darren Ferrante, DS Jacket Vision camera operator Chris Ledoux, and station engineer Lamine Figueroa. Here now is your Yellow Jackets play-by-play announcer, Josh Ward.
Good evening and welcome to Yellow Jackets football 2025 season is here. I'm Josh Ward, welcoming you into the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up, brought to you by Sporting Center, proudly serving Livingston Parish since 1977. At Sporting Center, they have everything you need, from athletic equipment to school uniforms, Yellow Jacket swag, you name it. Stacey Phipps, James Adam McCants, and that terrific staff over there at Sporting Center will take care of you. That is at 205 South Range Avenue in Denham Springs. From Yellow Jacket Stadium, it is the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets and the parish rival, Walker Wildcats, coming in for the annual Jamboree. Expecting varsity to kick this thing off about 7:30, somewhere in between that window. Just depends on how the JV, who's about to take the field, and their part of this Jamboree goes. We do come to you live on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. We always do ask that you hit that subscribe button. We are on Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the web at johnfineproductions.com. Got a lot to get to before kickoff. Mitch Covington will be joining me in a bit. Have Darren Ferrante with us. Lamine Figueroa is back at the studio. Chris Ledoux will be joining us as well. John Fine next door. So got the whole crew here ready to get this one for you, and we're excited to be with you for yet another season of Yellow Jackets football. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, entering his 29th year, producing Denham Springs football, it will be John Fine here in the booth with me. Coming up in a little bit, he will be with Livingston Parish sports editor Chris Kincaid. We will also have Mark Boyer from Boyer, Aver, and Angel, attorneys at law. He is also, Mark is also the attorney for the LHSAA of counsel. Then we will have some pretty in-depth interviews with the Denham Springs coaching staff. We will talk to defensive coordinator Stephen Prescott, offensive coordinator Ryan Fournier, and then, of course, we will be with head coach Brett Beard as usual. So stay with us. We are back after this timeout. It is the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up.
Your local sporting goods store is Sporting Center. Sporting Center has all your Denham Springs and surrounding school shirts, caps, clothing, and fan gear. And Sporting Center is more than just athletics, offering services for businesses and organizations. Sporting Center does in-house monogramming, screen printing, laser engraving, and large format printing. They can handle all of your advertising, promotional, and sign shop needs with personal, one-on-one customer service. Serving Livingston Parish for close to 50 years. Sporting Center, 205 South Range Avenue. Sporting Center, more than just a sports store.
Sunshine Cleaners is a family-owned dry cleaning business that has operated in the greater Baton Rouge area since 1995. Let Sunshine Cleaners' knowledgeable, professional, and friendly staff take care of your dry cleaning and laundry needs. Whether you drop off or they pick up at your home or office, Sunshine Cleaners makes it easy and convenient. Sunshine Cleaners, Railroad Avenue in Denham Springs, with locations at Walker and Baton Rouge. Visit sunshinecleaners.net.
You know, Demco is more than just an electric company. We're your local member-owned co-op, your neighbors, your family, and your friends. Our not-for-profit structure means that we can invest in youth programs that empower the next generation to grow, lead, and make a difference. It's all part of our mission to strengthen our communities and create a brighter future for all. Demco, powering life and community. That's the cooperative difference.
Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill has it going on. Big Mike's has burgers, steaks, seafood, pizza, salad, sides, and desserts. 40 TVs. Big Mike's is open late after the game. Live music on the weekend. Locally owned and operated by Denham Springs High School graduate Big Mike O'Neill. Check out the Denham Springs Athletics Hall of Fame at Big Mike's. Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill, 123 Aspen Square, Denham, or delivery through DoorDash or Grubhub.
If your saving for retirement approach involves the phrase, "I'll get around to it someday," Edward Jones can help. When it comes to meeting your goals, time can be on your side, and there's no better time than now to get started toward your retirement goals. Edward Jones Financial Advisors Scott Landry and Sims White can help. Stop by their office at 179 Del Orleans. That's Scott Landry and Sims White at Edward Jones, 179 Del Orleans, right across from the post office. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Denham Springs High School football broadcast on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by You Safe and Lock, David Azar Shelter Insurance Company, District Court Judge Brian Abels, Coconut Willie's Daiquiris, Mashan and Associates General Contractors, Sport Clips, and Safe Voyage Tattoo. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
As we welcome you back in to Yellow Jackets football, it is on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please hit the subscribe button. Family Radio 91.9 FM on the web at johnfineproductions.com. It is the Yellow Jackets and the Walker Wildcats. Jamboree action will be coming up here tonight. JV's taking the field now. Varsity will be coming up around 7:30 or so. As our best estimate, Josh Ward now joined by entering 29th season as producing Yellow Jackets football. So my first question is, what are we doing for the Big 3-0 next year?
Let's try to do it one game at a time, one broadcast at a time, Josh. And I don't understand how it's our 29th year, being that I'm only 25 years old.
Well, I was going to say,
happen?
you started this the year I was born, so when I'll turn 30 next year, it's going to be that party
There
for a
you
reason
go.
as well. But, John, so many years and so many games that you have seen here, so many people that you have dealt with, the different coaches throughout the years. But what makes this all possible is the sponsors that make this thing really go round and round.
No doubt about it. There are a lot of great people in Denham Springs who I've bamboozled them, their hard-earned money from them, and they are just terrific people. On a year in, year out basis, we get a lot of the same people that are with us, that support what we're doing, that feels it's a good investment advertising-wise. And, yeah, we couldn't be doing this without the terrific sponsors, whether they get their name mentioned once or whether they have 10 commercials on a telecast, broadcast. They're all very, very good to deal with.
So, John, real quick, tell me about this thing that's here behind us. That's a pretty good-looking banner, huh?
Yeah, Stacy Phipps did a really, really good job with that, Sporting Center, and this will allow us to have a nice background as opposed to me tripping all over myself as I'm leaving the broadcast booth. So, Josh, you came up with a great idea. Hopefully that starts to set a precedent for you, the great ideas that is coming up with, and Stacy did a great job, and James Adam and the great people at Sporting Center.
Yep, they are great. And, of course, we'll have the Whistle Stop halftime report. Good friend Brandon Rishu has taken over that entity and is proud to be a sponsor of that as well.
Brandon Rishu has the opportunity in 30 years to be one of the richest men in America. Listen to this. He's just about 30 years old, one-time great Denham Springs defensive player, and he is the pastor of his own church. He is the owner of Smart Move Real Estate, and just recently he and his wife have purchased Whistle Stop Cafe. And Brandon's a terrific guy. He runs an outstanding set of businesses, and oh, what a future he has in front of him.
Well, we talk about the great sponsors that make this possible as well, but the two most important people that go along with that are Principal Wes Howard and Athletic Director and Head Football Coach Brett Beard. They are so accommodating to us and open the doors for us with anything that we need. To have such a great working relationship with them makes this thing so much easier.
At first, I thought Mr. Howard was just going to be paying attention to the band, given the fact that that's his background, Josh. But he is at just about every ball game, and he really understands how football and sports are part of a well-rounded academic background. And he has been great to work with. And what can you say about Brett Beard? Brett Beard is a person who is liked thoroughly throughout. Hopefully, he won't be liked that much by Walker after tonight's game, but he is just really a pleasure to deal with. And you deal with him a lot more than I do, Josh, as you interview him every week. And his parents right now are watching. And they're great, great people, too. They did a great job raising their son.
They absolutely did. They're watching in Birmingham. I believe he's got other family in Nashville, Tennessee that tunes in as well. And I know many of you that are watching there at DS Jacket Vision are watching as well. And, John, as we now enter our third season on YouTube with at DS Jacket Vision, of course, we have our great relationship with our friends over at Family Radio 91.9 FM, Pastor Canosa, Lamine Figueroa, who handles it on the Friday nights over there for the at the radio station. But entering this third year at DS Jacket Vision, we're really trying to continue to each year, like a head coach taking over a new program. We're trying to expand each year and make it a little more friendly on the eyes for everybody.
And we also got 3 or 4 games that first year, Josh. So let's say that we redshirted that first year. So we're in our second full year on YouTube. And yes, it's really been a terrific experience. And Josh, I got to compliment you. You've put in a lot of hours and have really, really done a terrific job upgrading at times, game to game. Certainly in the off season, you do so much work. And so thank you, Josh. Really appreciate what you do.
Well, I appreciate that, John. It's awfully nice of you to say. And I think we're all a team here. Darren, I've given Darren Ferrente, I got to give a shout out to my guy Darren Ferrente, our producer here on site. I've given him a lot of homework assignments over the summer. He had summer school, if you will, and he took it all in stride and has done it all, and I think you're going to see the dividends pay off for us as a whole team in doing this. And, of course, as we mentioned, Chris Ledoux joining us on camera this year.
Yeah, and if Darren had that kind of effort back at Brother Martin and UNO, he would have taken only 4 years to graduate from each of those entities. And looking forward to getting Chris Ledoux coming on. And Chris has always been great to work with and is definitely going to add to the chemistry that we have on these telecasts.
And who is this Mitch Covington guy you keep making me work with?
I don't have my
you're
notes.
Speechless.
Yeah.
You're speechless. You weren't ready for that when he's speechless.
I was not.
All right.
No, Mitch does a terrific job as well. And you guys have a great chemistry both on the air and off the air. And Josh, you do a good job not mentioning any polysyllabic words for Mitch because he gets kind of confused with words that have more than one syllable. So that's great for you.
There you go. All right. So, John, you're going to be coming up with Chris Kincaid in the next segment. He is with Livingston Parish News, sports editor for Livingston Parish News. We did have Mark Boyer on the schedule, but it sounds like he got into a little traffic snafu, which is known to happen in this town on Friday. So it looks like he will not be able to step in on that. But in the off season, you did a little homework as well, and we've got a couple of interviews with some great guests, so we're going to pick one of those and go with it.
Looking forward to that, Josh. Thank you.
All right, coming up next, it will be John Fine and Chris Kincaid. It is the Yellow Jackets and the Wildcats Jamboree from Yellow Jacket Stadium. We continue on after this on the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up.
The tradition continues. The Whistle Stop has been serving Denham Springs for years, and they're still doing that. But they're now locally owned by former Jackets football star Brandon Rishu. The Whistle Stop still has the same friendly staff, the great coffee and French cuisine, and wonderful service. And don't worry, Brandon owns the joint, but he won't be cooking any of the delectable cuisine or brewing the coffee. He'll let the professionals handle that, as they have been at the Whistle Stop, East Railroad Avenue in the heart of Denham Springs.
Hey, it's Max Sellers from Ralph Sellers Chevrolet. We are again excited to be a sponsor of the Denham Springs Fighting Yellow Jackets football team this year. We appreciate all the support from your community in our first few years in business, and we are excited about things to come. Whether it's a new or used car, truck, or SUV, award-winning service from our dedicated service and parts staff, or even an outstanding collision repair for your vehicle, Ralph Sellers Chevrolet wants to earn your business. From our Ralph Sellers Chevrolet dealership family to your school family, go Jackets!
Bank Plus makes it easier to bank. With extended drive-through hours plus 24/7 online and mobile banking, we're here when you need us. Lost your debit card? Get a new one instantly at any Bank Plus location. No waiting for the mail. And interactive teller machines offer drive-up personal service 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturdays. Your bank, your plus. Learn more at bankplus.net. Member FDIC.
Where can you get good neighbor service and surprisingly great insurance rates? At State Farm. Because State Farm agent Brandy Robertson is your one-stop shop in Denham Springs for the service you deserve at the price you want. So stop looking around. State Farm agent Brandy Robertson is ready to help. Visit betterwithbrandy.net for your surprisingly great rates today. Brandy Robertson, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Fire and Water, Cleanup and Restoration, Serve Pro of Livingston. The number one choice in cleanup and restoration is Serve Pro of Livingston. Whether it's water damage, fire damage, mold, storm, or construction issues, let the highly trained professionals at Serve Pro of Livingston clean and restore your property and make it like it never happened. Serve Pro of Livingston is prepared for just about anything and is open 24/7, so Serve Pro is faster to any disaster. Serve Pro of Livingston, Florida Boulevard, Denham Springs. Soon to be at the old Albertsons. Fire and Water, Cleanup and Restoration, Serve Pro of Livingston.
Denham Springs High School football broadcasts on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by Shay Landry, closing attorney, Milestone Title, Brandon Rishu with Smart Move Real Estate, Baton Rouge KOA Campground of Denham Springs, Brian Ross, owner OK Computers and Auto Sales, Quality Furniture Restoration, and Dr. Chip Bankston and Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses. It is Denham Springs and Walker in the Denham Springs Jamboree. Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up continues. With us right now is a great friend of our broadcast. He is the sports editor of the Livingston Parish News. He is Chris Kincaid. Chris, how are you?
Doing all right, John. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Now, sure thing. 20 years ago, Katrina, you were in the outskirts of the greater New Orleans area. Tell us your memories of what happened.
I was living in I still live in St. Tammany. We're in the same house we're in now, and we evacuated to Baton Rouge. We went to a cousin's house. They there, I think, for about a week and a half. I had to help my family. We ended up helping out some family members who were affected by it majorly. And we went back there. I think it was like that Monday or Tuesday after, like about a week or so later. We went back there and helped some people clean out some refrigerators, bury some trash, and do things like that. And so, I got to see some of the water, and it's tough. It's tough to even think about what they had to go through.
Does it affect you and your family to this day?
Not me personally. We had a tree that fell and flat, basically hurt a roof in our shed, and so we got that taken care of, but. And I think we had a tree branch went through our roof, and that was taken care of. But for where I'm living right now, no, I didn't. That was something my parents took care of. It was just kind of insurance stuff, I think, more than anything else, if I remember right. But
what about the psyche of the greater New Orleans area back then and to this day, 20 years after?
I feel like it's just a very resilient area. I know it's a term that gets thrown around a lot with that area. I've had Saint season tickets where we're sitting now since 2001, and then I was going to game. My mom had tickets from the time they started 67 through the 98 season, every year except for two of them. So, I got to see kind of the way the dome is kind of growing up almost, and so I'm around people. I'm around the world. I'm around New Orleans a lot, and so I feel like it's just a very resilient. I feel like it's just a very resilient city. The people there are very resilient. It's probably my favorite place to visit whenever I can, and so.
Well, what's worse, the last 4 years of New Orleans football after Sean Payton, after Drew Brees, 3 or 4 years, or Hurricane Katrina? Which has been more traumatic?
Oh, Katrina, without a doubt.
I'm messing.
I know.
All right. Let's turn to the Livingston Parish News, where you're the sports editor. Yeah. Chris, tell us what that entails.
It just entails covering games, I call it more. It's more covering events. It's games. It might be signings. Just kind of anything that you can think of. It might be, it's doing stories. It's doing features. Figuring out where you're going to go each week, figuring out where people in freelance are going to, what the best game for them is to cover if they're available. And just kind of things like that. Just kind of trying to just basically stay on top of everything that you can.
Well, how many schools are there in Livingston Parish? 13, 14? Help me out here.
There's 9 high schools.
9 high schools, okay. So how do you make a determination as to who gets covered, where you go, where other people go? And there are times that you're not going to be able to staff 9 football games on a Friday night.
Well, football, we have 5 teams. So
gotcha.
What I'm looking at a lot of times is who haven't we covered? For the freelance guys, sometimes it might be is it easier for this person to get to this game versus the other? I'm trying to, I look at freelance as, I mean, they're getting paid, but I do look at them as doing us a favor because they're giving us somebody who's at a game, which is much better to me getting it over the phone from a coach. So, I mean, we'd rather have a human being at the game who, who's good at what they do, and we've got that. And so, a lot of times it might be who haven't we covered in person. It might be who's a better matchup. If it's Livingston Parish versus Livingston Parish, I will be there unless there's some emergency that's keeping me away from it. But, that's kind of what goes into it. Early in the season, it's kind of trying to get everybody in. No matter what, late in the season, I kind of look at matchups.
Gotcha. All right. I don't want to say you're a one-man band because you're not anymore. And you've had some stringers in the past, but former Livingston Parish sports editor Rob DeArmond comes back to help you on a part-time basis. That has to be a big assistance to you.
Yeah, Rob's a legend. I mean, he's going to be doing freelance stuff, and he'll help us out wherever he can. And
a legend? He may be watching or listening to this. Aren't you worried about giving him a big head? Come on now. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, because I think I've probably told him that already. I mean, when I took the job, I told him, I was like, Rob, look, I'm not coming in here to replace you at all. I'm just coming in here just to do the job the best I can. I mean, I've got a lot of experience doing it, but it's, Rob's a legend here. So I was never coming in here saying I'm going to make people like me and not like him, right? Like that. I came in here just trying to pick up where Rob left off and trying to do a great job. And I hope I have, but like
yes,
I said, Rob is extraordinary at everything that he does.
You have to be so happy at having him back to assist you.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, Rob does a great job. I mean, he's covered 2 games for us so far. He covered a scrimmage last week, and he covered a Jamboree this week. And so, and I know, and the other thing too is that Rob loves it, and he's going to be available to do probably a lot of games. So, when he texted me and told me he wanted to come back and do this freelance, I was like, let's go talk to McHugh. I was like, I'm all for it. I knew what McHugh was going to say. Our boss, McHugh David. I knew exactly what his answer was
going to be. Talk about McHugh David, the son of Nancy and Jeff David, former owners of Christian Country 1210 AM, where we got the start doing Denham Springs football broadcasts, and talk about what a fine young man McHugh is and how he is as a boss.
I'm lucky. I'm in a great job situation. It's because of McHugh, and it's because Rob recommended me. But, it's because Rob recommended me, and because McHugh's outstanding to work with. I mean, October 9th makes 2 years, and McHugh and I have not had one argument. We have not really disagreed on. I don't think we've disagreed on anything. No, I'm blessed. I mean, I'm very lucky to be able to work for him, and it really came at the right time when this job came available.
Now, McHugh is certainly a big answer to the next question I'm going to ask, but let's talk about the decline of newspapers, and where everything in the world is going to electronic, and especially in smaller markets like Denham Springs, you're seeing so many daily, probably weekly publications go by the wayside. How has Livingston Parish News been able to survive and thrive in these conditions where many other papers of its nature are extinct right now?
I'm just going to kind of give you my personal opinion on this. I think McHugh does a great job, and I think the other thing too is like with papers like ours and the other 2 I work for, you have people who want to see their kids in the paper, and so like tonight we're covering. I'm going to be covering the varsity game here with Walker and Denham Springs. People want to see that, and I think the other thing too that we do that that started long before I got here was they went with the video stuff with the YouTube interviews. With the interviews for YouTube, and I think that kind of gives you a chance to see the athlete's personality. I think, and I'm sure the parents love it. I know the athletes want to see them, but I'll tell you a quick story. I remember one time I gave a kid a couple newspapers at the other paper because his mom, a paper I worked for, because his mom was taking pictures for us, and just kind of one of these things where he was in the middle of a picture and he came around the back of me, and some of his friends got together, and I could hear them talking. Who did he interview? And so that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I feel like happens. I mean, the kids are excited to see themselves in the paper. And for the most part, I mean, the stuff that we're putting in there for sports, at least most of it's high school. There's some college stuff like the Baton Rouge Rougarous. And there's, we're going to have stories in there about kids who played at the local schools who are playing in college and doing well. But I think a paper like ours and like the other two I work for, I think they're kind of more personal because you're hitting like Denham Springs, you're hitting Walker, and you have the local athletes in there.
Now you have your high school football preview coming out, or it came out yesterday.
They came out yesterday. We got 3 of them in. There was a little bit of a space issue, so we have 3 more schools going in on next Thursday. That's the game plan.
Okay, was Denham Springs one of those 3 this week or next week?
Yeah, all the 5As got in.
Okay, fantastic. We'll look forward to seeing that. How will Denham Springs do this year? What's your prediction for them?
Brett Beard, the coach, seems really, really upbeat. I know he's got a good senior class this year. I know he's got a lot of good players. This is the first time I've seen him play 11-on-11 with this team. I saw him play during 7-on-7 a lot this summer. Just kind of the way the schedule worked. I got to see him more probably than anybody. But they have a new quarterback. Their receiving group looks pretty good. He's got his twin brother receiving for him, and
John.
so I think it's gonna be fun to watch. I know this during 7-on-7, and you can take from it whatever you want. Their offense looked really good. And now I saw their backup quarterback, can't remember his name, but their backup quarterback came in and he played well when he got in there as well.
All right. How's about Walker? What do you see for the Wildcats this year?
Got to see them scrimmage last week against Slidell. It looks like their running game's pretty good. Their coach, Chad Mahaffey, told me that he felt like it could be better. I felt like they made some good plays. They're going to rely on their offensive line. They have a new quarterback as well, Jace Evans, and he made some nice throws. Like I said, I saw him as well in 7-on-7 this summer. I saw every team in 7-on-7, but I felt like he made some nice throws too. So, and then their defense looks like they're going to be fairly tough too. I know they gave up some big plays to Slidell, but you're not. I mean, and look, I'll tell you right now, John, I don't know what to take from scrimmages and jamborees. I'm just kind of going off of what I see. It was no different than watching Saints preseason. I don't know everything I'm seeing there either.
All right. Well, don't expect any championships from the Saints. Okay. Just let me give you that opinion. Now, what about Live Oak?
I got to see them play last night, and their offense looked tough, and then their defense played extremely well too. They gave up a touchdown, the second play from scrimmage. It was a quick pass to a receiver, and he ran 64 yards. It was kind of a fake one way through the other type of thing, and he ran up the right sideline, took it all the way. After that, they went on a 32-6 run. After that, I think they scored 20 unanswered before halftime, and their offense looks good, and their defense played well after that initial play.
Talk about working with Brett Beard, who you have a relationship with prior to coming to the Livingston Parish News.
Yeah, I got to work with him at Bowling Green, and he was great over there. He's a blast over here. I get to work with him, getting to work with him even more now, and I'm loving it. He's a funny guy, very loose, and but he's also a competitor. So he has expectations for his team, and he wants everything done right. He wants everything to be done well.
All right. Who would win in a boxing match between you and Brett Beard? Who should we bet on?
Bet on me because I'm going to fight dirty.
Okay. All right. Good enough. Chris, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Anytime, John.
Keep up the great work. That's Chris Kincaid of the Livingston Parish News. Coming up next, it will be a feature, a recorded interview with Butch Wax as he takes a look at 10 of the Denham Springs players, coaches, athletes that he has had the pleasure of knowing, working with, what have you. All that and more coming up after this pause. It is Denham Springs and Walker in the Denham Springs Jamboree. We're back after this pause on Yellow Jackets football.
If your saving for retirement approach involves the phrase, I'll get around to it someday, Edward Jones can help. When it comes to meeting your goals, time can be on your side, and there's no better time than now to get started toward your retirement goals. Edward Jones Financial Advisors Scott Landry and Sims White can help. Stop by their office at 179 Del Orleans. That's Scott Landry and Sims White. Your saving for retirement approach involves the phrase 179 Del Orleans, right across from the post office. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC. Round to it someday, Edward Jones can help. When it comes to meeting your goals, time can be on your side, and there's no better time than now to get started toward your retirement goals. Edward Jones Financial Advisors Scott Landry and Sims White can help. Stop by their office at 179 Del Orleans. That's Scott Landry and Sims White at Edward Jones, 179 Del Orleans, right across from the post office. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Like it was never there, Louisiana Tree Pro is your tree care specialist, expertly handling tree removal, tree trimming, stump grinding, and storm cleanup with 24-hour emergency tree removal. And Louisiana Tree Pro does it the right way with properly licensed and insured professionals who will get the job done quickly and safely with a quality result. Their goal at Louisiana Tree Pro is to leave your property better than they found it. That's why their motto is, like it was never there. Denham Springs owned and operated by Josh Howard. That's Louisiana Tree Pro.
Personal injury?
Boyer, Abear, and Angel.
Auto accidents?
Boyer, Abear, and Angel.
Workers' compensation?
Boyer, Abear, and Angel.
One law firm can handle all of your legal needs, and you don't have to fight big city traffic to find them. Mark Boyer, Dominic Amato, Lucas Schenk, and Allison Costanza have a team of 12 attorneys ready to assist you. The lawyers at Boyer, Abear, and Angel have invaluable experience that allows them to provide expert legal counsel that's professional, prompt, and productive. Small town values, big city results. Boyer, Abear, and Angel.
4 decades, Smith Accounting is celebrating its 40th anniversary. With Randy Smith, along with Mickey McMorris and a terrific staff, Smith Accounting Services can handle all of your accounting needs. Personal taxes, computerized payroll services, corporate income taxes, business taxes, and bookkeeping. Smith Accounting Services, 227 East Railroad, Denham Springs. Celebrating 40 years of service, count on it at Smith Accounting Services.
Denham Springs High School football broadcasts on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by Mr. Gaddy's Pizza, Dr. Brandon Wax with the Eye Center of Denham Springs, Cypress Pharmacy and Gift Shop, Burning Lotus Tattoo of Denham Springs, the Law Office of Ivy L. Graham, Family Specialist, and Hunt's Tire Pros and Car Care in Central. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
As we welcome back into the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up, Yellow Jackets and the Walker Wildcats Jamboree action in this annual tradition that is happens each year before the season. So we will be at Walker Week 9, but here tonight, Walker Wildcats at Yellow Jacket Stadium. Jamboree action coming up after the JV scrimmage that is going on right now. So what we will do is, since Mark Boyer was unable to join us after a little traffic snafu trying to get here, we're going to go to John Fine in a previously recorded interview with Hall of Famer Butch Wax. We will go to that interview now.
I'm John Fine. We're speaking with legendary coach, one-time principal, one-time athlete at Denham Springs High School, a member of the Denham Springs High School Athletic Hall of Fame. He is Coach Butch Wax. Coach, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, John, to be with y'all, and I'm just excited about hearing what you got to say.
Okay. What we're going to do is to talk about a number of people that you've had the privilege of working with or coaching or playing with in your distinguished career at Denham Springs High School. Let's start out with Ronnie Small.
Ronnie Small was an outstanding basketball player. That year he was a teammate, and we went to the first original top 20 tournament, which was held in Shreveport. 2 playoff games. He scored one game 39 points, another one 38. He was an all-state player. He played at Southeastern 2 years. It would have been a start of 3 years, but he had a knee injury, and back in those days, they weren't as successful as they are today. And so he had to quit playing because of that, remained on scholarship the rest of the time. But what a great player, unselfish player. Later had a son named Kelly, who also was an all-state basketball player. Best all-around student, athletes, but one of the top 5 basketball players to ever play at Denham Springs, in my opinion.
Alton Leggett.
Alton Leggett, a legend without a doubt in Livingston Parish basketball and throughout the state. Contracted polio when he was 6 years old and was unable to play, but yet he loved the game and wanted to coach it, and he did. He was a very, very detailed coach. He demanded perfection. He was very knowledgeable. He probably knew the rules better than 99% of the officials who called his game. He made it a point to know the rules. And then at the same time, he managed to produce teams that went beyond what their capabilities really allowed them to do. He pushed them to that point and got the maximum effort out of every one of them. What a great coach he was.
Small in stature, very large in influence in life, Alton Leggett. The late Joey Schutz.
Joey Schutz, what a tremendous player he was, but as time went on, became even a greater person. He was starting tackle for us, made an all-state player, signed with Louisiana Tech, played there 4 years, drafted by the Jacksonville pro team and Jacksonville Jaguars, and was signed going through the beginning of his first year and hurt his back and was unable to play after that. But a great football player, but also became a great leader in the Denham Springs area, became a coach at Denham Springs High School, just something that he loved to do, and died of a heart attack when he was 40 years old. A tremendous, he was every place that he played, high school, he met that level, and then the next step was college, and he produced him and matured himself to that point to play in the pros. And when he got to the pros, he would have been the third tackle, 2 starters, and he would have been the third tackle the year that he was drafted and was able to go through the beginning of the first year in the pros. He would have been the first tackle into that lineup offensively.
Shannon Robeek.
Shannon Robeek, maybe an undersized from today's standard as far as his height. He played the position at center. He had the best feet of any football player I think that's ever been to Denham Springs, played at Denham Springs High School. What a great competitor he was. Had great technique. Once again, signed and played with Auburn after he left Denham Springs. He was an all-state player at Denham Springs. He was an all-SEC player at Auburn. Was a 4-year starter after his redshirt year. Was unique in the fact that they could pull him like they used to pull guards in their offensive scheme. And he was just a tremendous anchor point, a great individual, a great family that he came from as well, but will be remembered legendary as one of the best offensive players ever at Denham High.
Much like yourself, a great coach and a great academician and a great guy all told, Louis Ludi Carlisle.
Coach Carlisle, a unique coach in that he was a player's coach. I think, the players loved him. He had a knack of being able to see the opponent from a strategic position in that they called him Lucky Ludi, but the fact that he was able to produce those lucky plays, as some would describe as, it was certainly his inept ability his ability to be able to diagnose the defense and be able to determine what they would be in defensively, and then try and could in most cases have a play that was designed ready to take advantage of the defense. What a great guy he was, and a great coach.
Another great guy, Dwayne Beetle Bailey.
Beetle Bailey, one of the outstanding coaches in baseball, also a outstanding defensive back coach in football. He was meticulous. He was very determined, also required a great deal out of his players, and baseball. Had a great run at Denham Springs High School where he was able to produce several district champions. He was also, after high school and the principal at Denham Springs High School for a short time, became a member of Coach Skip Bertman's baseball dynasty, and he was a key cog in that program as well, just as he had been at Denham Springs High School. A tremendous fundamental teacher, and did a great job in everything that he did, always organized.
A lot of these luminaries have won many games. They lost a few, but someone who has never lost a game coaching would be Robert Graves.
Robert Graves, he is one of the most, I guess you would say, analytical persons that I have ever known. He is unique in the fact that he wants to find out what is the truth, whether it is the score of a game, the player who scored, or how many yards a person had. It has to be accurate. It has to be documented. It has to be proven that that's the way it occurred. Otherwise, it didn't come from Robert Graves. That's fact. And he is one of the greatest assets that I had as a coach. He was there from my first year until my last year, and what a great asset he was to be able to have this information that's now documented for history's sake. So many things go by the wayside undocumented, but he has it so that it'll be there for the future for other players to look at, to be able to try to compete against, and just a great self-sacrificing person during the time that he was at Denham Springs High School as the statistician. More than that, he was a great friend.
A former player who probably in his playing days, you could see he would one day become a very successful coach. That would be Drew Nettles.
Drew Nettles is without a doubt a coach on the field himself. He had a mind and a vision as to what he really wanted to be. I think whenever he was growing up as a young man, even before he got to high school. But beyond that, he had the unique ability to scout. And when he scouted, you could ask him on his return about any phase or any thing that took place at that game, and he could tell you and give you the reason for which it was occurring. He has a great football mind. He's a great competitor. He was a unique player in several ways. He was a leader, and then he carried that over into his baseball, which he was an outstanding baseball player, continued at Southeastern, but I always felt like he was a football coach. And when he left Denham one time to become a head baseball coach, I told the principal then that he was going to be a much better football coach than he was baseball. And I still think that, although he was a great baseball coach as well.
Grady Hornsby.
Grady Hornsby set the foundation for Denham Springs High School. He was you had the unique privilege of being, I think, the first head football coach at Denham Springs High School for 11 man in the 1930s. And he progressed along with that until the early stages, or late mid-40s, where he became the head basketball coach as well. In 1948, he won the state championship with a great team. 1949, they were runner-up. 1950, they were the state champions again. And then he became solely the principal. He also started a boxing team, him and Bob May, back in the early 1930s. Later to dissolve it, but at the same time, we've seen the school itself, the way it was disciplined, the way it was run was based on Mr. Hornsby. And I don't care how old I get or how old anybody else gets, they should still call him Mr. Hornsby.
Lloyd DeGeneres.
Floyd DeGeneres. What a great asset to any program that you have. Also a very vocal coach. Sometimes, no doubt about it, his bite was way worse than his anything else, his words, because he would frighten some people. But once you got beyond that exterior, you were able to see the love that he had for kids and the love that he had. He was an outstanding track coach, and they won, I think, 6 district championships during his tenure as the head track coach. He was a fantastic offensive line coach. I was fortunate enough to have him as one of my line coaches, and also be able to have him as an assistant principal as well. So we were great friends, and there doesn't a day go by that I don't miss him.
Big D, as he was called. Kelvin Robinson.
Kelvin Robinson, the best all-around football player in the history of Denham Springs, in my opinion, without a doubt. He was just as successful on defense as he was on offense, and he was a player who did not come off the football field. He was an all-state player. He was also a player that was nationally recruited. People from Nebraska and Oklahoma came to recruit Kelvin Robinson. He determined, he decided to go to Tulane. Now, I'm not sure why that happened, but LSU loved him as well. But he was a player. He could love contact, was a starter as a 9th grader. He was one of the guys that you could count on. He would be motioning from the huddle, pointing to himself, give him the football. He wanted the football, and he got it most of the time, and was very, very, very successful on both sides of the ball.
Coach Wax, thank you so much for joining us and sharing with us your thoughts on a number of great Yellow Jackets.
No doubt. They are some of the founders, certainly, and some of the foundation that athletics is built on at Denham Springs High School.
That is Butch Wax, and I'm John Fine, and you are listening to Denham Springs High School broadcast.
All right, that was John Fine and the Hall of Famer, Coach Butch Wax. We appreciate both of them for a previously recorded interview in case we get into instances like this. All right, it is the Walker Wildcats and the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets from Yellow Jackets Stadium. It is going to be Jamboree action, and varsity will be coming up around 7:30, which we are still anticipating. But as always, we ask that you, if you're watching on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision, to give that like and subscribe button to hit. We certainly would appreciate it. And we'll keep you up to date with all the things that we are doing here. We are going to take a timeout. When we come back, it will be an interview that I had recorded earlier in the week with defensive coordinator Stephen Prescott. We are back with more after this on the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up.
Your local sporting goods store is Sporting Center. Sporting Center has all your Denham Springs and surrounding school shirts, caps, clothing, and fan gear. And Sporting Center is more than just athletics, offering services for businesses and organizations. Sporting Center does in-house monogramming, screen printing, laser engraving, and large format printing. They can handle all of your advertising, promotional, and sign shop needs with personal, one-on-one customer service. Serving Livingston Parish for close to 50 years. Sporting Center, 205 South Range Avenue. Sporting Center, more than just a sports store.
The tradition continues. The Whistle Stop has been serving Denham Springs for years, and they're still doing that. But they're now locally owned by former Jackets football star Brandon Rishu. The Whistle Stop still has the same friendly staff, the great coffee and French cuisine, and wonderful service. And don't worry, Brandon owns the joint, but he won't be cooking any of the delectable cuisine or brewing the coffee. He'll let the professionals handle that, as they have been at the Whistle Stop, East Railroad Avenue in the heart of Denham Springs.
Sunshine Cleaners is a family-owned dry cleaning business that has operated in the greater Baton Rouge area since 1995. Let Sunshine Cleaners' knowledgeable, professional, and friendly staff take care of your dry cleaning and laundry needs. Whether you drop off or they pick up at your home or office, Sunshine Cleaners makes it easy and convenient. Sunshine Cleaners, Railroad Avenue in Denham Springs, with locations at Walker and Baton Rouge. Visit sunshinecleaners.net.
Peak Performance Physical Therapy is excited to announce the opening of our newest clinic location in Watson. We are located at 32871 Highway 16 at the corner of Amy Church Road and Highway 16. And don't forget about our Denham Springs Clinic located at 145 Aspen Square next to Spectrum Fitness Club. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone.
Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill has it going on. Big Mike's has burgers, steaks, seafood, pizza, salad, sides, and desserts. 40 TVs. Big Mike's is open late after the game. Live music on the weekend. Locally owned and operated by Denham Springs High School graduate Big Mike O'Neill. Check out the Denham Springs Athletics Hall of Fame at Big Mike's. Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill, 123 Aspen Square, Denham, or delivery through DoorDash or Grubhub.
Denham Springs High School football broadcast on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by Danny Pauline with 5 Star Printing, Horace Wilkinson, State Farm Insurance, Performance Collision Center, Sport Clips, BJ Pawn and Gun, Livingston Parish Clerk of Court Jason Harris, Family Wellness and Healthcare of Louisiana, and L. King Company. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
It is the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up. Yellow Jackets and the Walker Wildcats from Yellow Jacket Stadium for the annual Jamboree matchup. I'm Josh Ward, and we are now joined by first-year defensive coordinator for the Yellow Jackets, Coach Stephen Prescott. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Coach, before we get into the personnel of this year and the defense, let's talk a little bit about how you got into coaching. I know you came from being around it growing up, but how did your path lead you into coaching?
Well, I started just being a young kid to a coach. My dad coached for my entire life, and then my grandpa was a coach himself. Both of them at Terra High School for a long time, and then just fell in love with the game, introduced me to the game, and events that, connected our families. We go to every game on Friday nights. It turned into a family affair and event, and that just led me into falling in love with high school football. And I knew probably since the 3rd grade I wanted to do the same thing my grandpa did and my dad did.
Well, I was going to say, did you always know that was going to be the path? And at any point, did either one of those guys try to talk you out of doing it?
Well, yeah, I would say it's always been the goal is to be a head coach, or excuse me, a coach. They did kind of talk me out of it a little bit. My dad told me, go make more money, do a different career path and things like that. But, I really did look up to my dad and my grandpa as role models and basically heroes. And I wanted to be just like them. So I never wavered in what I wanted to be. That's just a football coach.
Talk about your dad and the influence he had on you. I knew him from when he was with the other Wildcat team across the river there, around that time frame. But how does his influence trickle down to you and your path so far?
Well, my dad was just growing up is really tough on me, but at the same time loving on me, and I think it's a good balance. So he made me become a hard worker with a strong work ethic, and he taught me things about the game, and at the same time let me be my own, and my own personality shine through it all. And anytime I had questions, I just leaned on him for answers, and he just pushed me to be the best I could be. And his whole mantra has always been just give your best in everything you do and live with the results. And that's just been the philosophy I live by, was raised by.
I know Coach Beard giving you this opportunity to be the defensive coordinator. Talk about your relationship with him. I know you have worked with him at other schools before, but him handing this over to you, what does that mean to you? And talk about y'all's relationship.
Well, it means the world to me that he trusts me enough to be a coordinator for his program, because I know he's a defensive first coach growing up playing defense and played at Vanderbilt at D-line. So I know it means a lot to him. It's very important to him. And the relationship we've had, it goes since back to Live Oak, and we've all been really close. We used to do all kinds of events and hang out together. But it was all under Coach Brian Smith, who was a former defense coordinator at Live Oak for those 5 years and 1 year here at Denham. And we all just grew close. I know how much he respected him and how much he taught me as well as about philosophy of defense. And our relationship just grew from there. And the thing that attracted me to come back to Denham to work with Coach Beard is he's got the perfect balance of old school principles with the new school's philosophy of coaching. So he's just a very easy guy to work for and a really good friend off the field as well.
Talk about the expectations that you put on yourself, though. I know this is a big 5A program. What are the expectations you have for yourself stepping into this role for the first time?
Well, the expectations for myself is pretty much how I live everyday life. It's just give my best in everything I do, and then the rest will take care of itself. It's the same thing we preach to our boys. It's never going to be about me. It's never going to be about them. It's about us collectively as a unit, and everybody doing their job, their specific role, clearly defining what the roles are, and executing it to the best of your ability, and the rest will take care of itself.
All right, let's get into the personnel for the Yellow Jackets defense this year. We'll start on the defensive line. You've got two anchors there at defensive end with Darius Scott returning and Devin Mack, and I know those two are going to be a big part of this piece to the puzzle, but talk about your defensive line and what you look for them.
I think the defensive line is a real strength of ours. I think it's one of the most talented groups I've ever been around. You got Darius Scott, we call it Debo. He's very good in the run game, very good in the pass game, very, very quick off the ball. And Devon Mack is really fast as well. And Cupid anchoring it down as a nose guard. He's really our run stuffer. And together as a unit, collectively, they work very well. Coach Baker, our D-line coach, gets the most out of them. And they just play with an unwavering and undying motor. And I really do believe they're the heart of the defense right now at this point in the season.
At linebacker, you have Caden Allen, the senior, returning there, kind of probably your quarterback on the field for the defense, if I had to guess. Who else will be in that backfield with him?
So alongside Caden Allen would be Cedric Polk. Polk's come a long way from last year. He's the guy that's steadily improving each and every day for us. He knows the defense in and out, and he's actually a very good communicator and wants to get better and takes well to coaching. And that group is coached by Coach McGrew, and he's got them moving in the right direction, and they're starting to fly around and make some plays for us.
As we look at the defensive backfield, you got 3 returning starters there. Talk about that group and what you're going to need from them. Would you say that the defensive backfield may be the biggest question mark of the defense at this point?
Yeah, defensive backs is clearly, to me, the biggest question mark going into the season. Just because we're moving people around, working back there with them, myself with Coach Longmire and Coach Martin, and moving people around. So right now we have Quentin Clay, who played all spring at safety, is now playing corner, and is doing a really good job in fall camp so far, and it's come along very, very strong. We got Jaden Washington at corner, who's a returning starter. Jaden Washington played the highest percentage of snaps last year for us at 98%, and he's a very dependable corner for us. And then at safety, we got Lucas Gillen, who rotates a good bit with Jacob Dale, and they did the same role last year, so they're familiar with that, familiar with the defense. They're kind of the quarterbacks of our defense. They know the ins and outs. And then we got Angel Morrow, who's playing for us right now, and he is just a star waiting to explode onto the scene in the Baton Rouge area. I think he is a gem that is going to turn some heads this fall. He's coming along really well for us.
A returning starter that you lost in the offseason, and Gaspard. How big of a blow was that to this defense?
It's a real big blow just from the sheer physicality that James played with and leadership quality. He was very composed in the heat of the moment, whether we needed a 4th and 1 stop or we gave up the score. We had to make an adjustment on the sideline. James was just a calming presence for us, and that's hard to replace, and that's what we'll miss the most about him. It will be his leadership and his composure with the defense.
What are you looking for your defense to get out of this Jamboree as you get ready for that Week 1 matchup at Hammond?
I'm just looking forward to seeing him fly around and pursue the ball, play aggressively, and play without fear of failure and messing up. I think that's the biggest thing to get high school kids to get over is the fear of what could go wrong versus what could go right, and that what goes right goes directly correlates to how hard we practice. And so far, I think we practice really hard. So I look most forward to watching them fly around and play from a sense of a free standpoint.
And what defensive scheme will you be putting out on Friday nights this fall?
We like to be a little multiple, but it'll be more of a 3-4 defense. We can pressures here and there, but we like to be a very basic 3-4 defense, and then alignment wise, keep it simple for our guys and just line to the ball.
All right, Coach, and lastly, before I let you out of here, every coach kind of molds themselves after other coaches that they have been around and look to the pros and the college levels and all that. At this point in your career, who has had the biggest influence on you that you're trying to kind of mold yourself into?
It's a good question. If I had to say, I would say mold myself would be a combination of three guys. And that would be my dad, David Prescott, my grandpa, B.L. Fairchild, and then a former defense coordinator I worked for at Live Oak, Brian Smith. And the combination I take from them is just always being calm under pressure and being a calm presence towards your players on Friday night, so they can believe in you, and you can steer them in the right direction. Whether things are going great or things are going wrong, we can always steer the ship the right way. And then how to be a professional, how to balance being a great dad, a great husband, and at the same time being a great coach, because it's a demanding time. And they taught me the proper balance of how to handle all that, how to get stuff done at work versus, family time. And I credited them for all that. And then lastly, all three of them, what they have in common and how to be a good coach, or at least for my philosophy, is it's all about aggression and attitude and effort. So defense, it's all about really, can we line up fast and can we fly around to the ball? And that's what all three of those coaches have taught me, is that is essential to be a good defense.
Well, Coach, we certainly appreciate the time. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us and go into a little bit of detail about this defense. Make us proud this year, Coach. We look forward to it. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
That was Coach Stephen Prescott of the Yellow Jackets. When we return, it will be offensive coordinator Coach Ryan Fournier joining us. Stay with us. We're back after this on the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up. All right, and it is going to be a quick little change up here for you yet again, as we are just working on the fly here in this Jamboree from Yellow Jacket Stadium. We are going to switch, and we are going to go to the Brett Beard interview following this commercial. Again, it is the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets and the Walker Wildcats Jamboree action here from Yellow Jacket Stadium. When we return, it is head coach Brett Beard. We are back after this time out on the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up.
Hi, I'm Jacob Neal, a nurse practitioner at North Oaks Urgent Care. When you're not feeling your best, whether it's an illness, injury, or something in between, you shouldn't have to wait to feel better. That's why we're here for you every day from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 4 convenient locations. Walk-ins are always welcome, or you can save time by reserving your spot online at northoaks.org/urgent care. We're here to provide expert care right when you need it.
North Oaks Health System, improving lives every time, every touch.
With Bank Plus, your account is always just a tap away. Bank anywhere, anytime with free Bank Plus mobile banking. Pay bills, transfer funds, and check your account day or night with the Bank Plus mobile app. Deposit checks with the snap of a photo. Keep tabs on your account with transaction alerts. Lost your debit card? Disable it instantly from your smartphone. Then, turn it back on when you find it. Your bank, your plus. Learn more at bankplus.net. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Max Sellers from Ralph Sellers Chevrolet. We're again excited to be a sponsor of the Denham Springs Fighting Yellow Jackets football team this year. We appreciate all the support from your community in our first few years in business, and we are excited about things to come. Whether it's a new or used car, truck, or SUV, award-winning service from our dedicated service and parts staff, or even an outstanding collision repair for your vehicle, Ralph Sellers Chevrolet wants to earn your business. From our Ralph Sellers Chevrolet dealership family to your school family, go Jackets!
Bond Roten Eye Clinic is your full-service eye care specialist. Dr. Hunter Bond and Dr. Chris Roten and their staff expertly handle all of your eye care needs. A former Jackets football player, Dr. Hunter Bond is proud to serve the Denham Springs community that gave so much to him. You can visit Bond Roten Eye Clinic at 222 Veterans Boulevard in Denham Springs or call 791-2020. That's Bond Roten Eye Clinic in Denham Springs with locations in Hammond and Ames.
If you're a small business owner in the Denham Springs area, think about everything you need to help your business succeed. You need a plan, happy customers, steady cash flow, and an insurance agent that gets you. State Farm agent Brandy Robertson runs a small business in the Denham Springs community area too, and she understands the unique needs of local business owners. She will make it easy to choose the right protection at the right price. Because one thing you don't need is insurance stress. Call State Farm agent Brandy Robertson for your small business needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Denham Springs High School football broadcasts on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by Triton Outpatient Clinic, Livingston Parish Assessor Jeff Taylor, Todd Caruso, Attorney at Law, Duke's Seafood and Steakhouse, Modad 1 Individual Sewage Treatment System, Forest Grove Plantation, and Billy Leach Professional Title Company. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
It is the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up. The Yellow Jackets and the parish rival Walker Wildcats in Jamboree action from Yellow Jacket Stadium. I'm Josh Ward and excited to get back to our weekly chats with Athletic Director and Head Coach Brett Beard. Coach, we are back and all feels right under the Friday night lights. Great to be back with you again.
Yeah, man, really excited. You know, I love Denham Springs football. I love the growth we've had, and you know, we've been kind of in a cycle right here, but I tell you what, we're on a high note with 43 seniors and a group that's got a lot of experience, and you know, really excited to watch them play football and show everybody what they've done this offseason.
Yeah, and before we get to the offseason, let's take a quick step back to that last game that we had last season up at West Washita, 42-41 overtime loss in an unbelievable game and a very valiant effort by the Yellow Jackets coming back 14 points to send that game to overtime. Talk about that group and what it meant to Denham Springs and, you know, that group that really left it all out on the field in that last game at West Washita.
Yeah, you know, if you weren't there, you missed the gym. I mean, a lot of people talk about getting down 2 scores. It wasn't even just getting down 2 scores. It was how we got down. You know, we're getting ready to punt it away and flip the field, and we punt it over to snap at the punter's head, and they get the ball in, you know, almost on like the 15, around the 10. They punch it in to go up 2 scores. And we come out, we run a 2-minute drill, go down and score. And, you know, we'd struggled defensively just about all night and had 3 timeouts left, went 3 and out using our 3 timeouts. And, you know, their punt that they had was perfect. It rolled down to inside the 2. So we've got to go 98, 99 yards with no timeouts with a little less than a couple minutes. And we execute the perfect drive on down to score. We don't get the ball on the left hash, get a delay of game, you know, have to make the PAT and, you know, going to overtime where they score, we score, and we got the left hash and got what we wanted. And, you know, we ran the play wrong and screwed it up. And you know, those things happen. You talk about kids that have been getting after it to where you look at the regular season time, you know, where we had just gone down to score. If we get the ball on the left hash and we run it, we might win right there because all the momentum, all the energy is on our side at that point. We just executed a perfect 99-yard, 2-minute drive. But those things happen, you know, human error, it is what it is. And, you know, we still got to execute, and we did not. And I'd go for 2 every time and put it in our kids' hands that I trust. And, you know, those guys got to feel that. They got to see that. The never give up mentality, the winner's mentality that we've built here. I mean, these kids have a chip on their shoulder and a lot to prove and feel like that, you know, we left a lot last year on the field that we're going to try to make right this year.
Do some games for you take longer to move on and get over from? Because I'll be honest with you, that one for me, most of the time I'm able to get over it pretty quick. That one lingered a little bit for me.
Yeah, and, you know, and you just kind of you sit back and you laugh because realistically, by numbers, we weren't supposed to be in that game. You know, we're the 22 seed or whatever playing a single-digit seed or whatever it was. You know, West Washita is supposed to beat us by numbers. You know, we didn't believe that, and I don't know if many people really did. But you know, you go on it to an amazing atmosphere. You kind of start slow, which was notorious for our team. We dig ourselves a hole, and again, just like normal, we dig ourselves out of it. And you know, in that setting, in that situation, and the emotional roller coaster ride that it was. It did. It kind of sat on me for a little while longer. You know, I sometimes have a problem going back and watching those last games for a little while. And with that one, I had to dive right in because I just had to see, you know, where it went wrong, why it went the way it did. And then, of course, I wanted to see just the amazing fourth quarter that it was. But it did, man. It stung because we wanted more. And but, again, we just never could figure out how to start fast and how to get over that hump to where we were digging ourselves that hole and you know, and having to dig out of it where our kids were resilient and did most of the time. And, you know, that's really kind of where it set this whole offseason on. What can we do? What can we do to fix this, to correct this, to give us the best chance? Because we've looked at different ideas, and we're going to practice a little different this year to see if we can't figure out a way to start faster.
It is a long off season, and I wanted to ask you, from the time that you pick up the pads after the season ends, from the time you hand them out again, what does that time period look like for a program like this?
Well, I mean, you got to go back to the groundwork, and you got to start with you've got the foundation of the program that's there. You talk about building upon it every year, and a little bit gets built every year and left behind with that senior class that leaves. But you go back to the groundwork and you go back to building. You pick up your hammers, you pick up your nails, and you freaking go back to work. And that's what our kids did. And you attack it with an energy every day that these guys have brought every day. When you have 43 seniors, that's rare. And when you have that, there's times as coaches, you kind of get to sit back and let them run it because they know what the standard is. They address the standard. They fight for the standard. And we've seen a lot of that through the off season. So, I'm excited to see these guys finally dive into what they've been working on and what they've been harping on all off season.
Team building is always a big part of the off season, and you talk about this big senior class that you have coming in. Your locker room is always going to look different from year to year. How do you feel the chemistry of this team is coming together leading up to Game 1 against Hammond?
I tell you, I honestly believe we're at a better spot than we've been in a long time. A lot of I think these kids, a lot of them are getting comparisons to the 22 team, which there's still a lot of question marks on whether or not they're that team or not. I mean, that was a really good team, a really special team. Our O-line is going to have to meet that challenge because our O-line was really good that year, and which was a big X factor for us. But, the biggest thing is these kids, I really do believe they love each other. They trust each other. The locker room is different. They hang out with each other. We can hardly get them to leave here, and when they do leave here, they go together. And really the pieces that have come in, the pieces that we already had in place, really excited just to see we got some really amazing young men in this program that really care about Denham. They really care about being successful for Denham. And, you can see that in the way they go about their business. So really excited to watch it turn into, it's got to turn into playing football now. And that's what we're really excited to see that happen.
And if you could, talk about how long the off-season is and how many different things that these kids have to do now being in a 5A program like this. You talk about 7-on-7 during the summer. You talk about the lineman camps that your linemen go to, kicking camps, all these things that they do to try to make themselves better because, as you just said, the care that they have about wanting to leave their mark on this program.
Yeah, not to mention the head football coach proved he wasn't worth a dang as a softball coach in the offseason.
Well, we're going to get to that later.
The off season is what it is. I've got it built to where it's very kid friendly and very work friendly. It's very kid friendly to where they are in high school. Their families can still vacation. They can still take their time that they need because you're in your last few years of that ride at home with your mom and your dad, or whoever raises you. So you still want them to have a chance to be a kid, but you still also want to have a chance to be successful and learn how to work and buy into the standard in the program. Our off season, is really grueling. The beginning is just really heavy weights, trying to bulk up and put that weight on to where the second phase of it would begin the speed conditioning after school, the conditioning after school to turn that bulk into the ability to move and run and be stronger than you've ever been, and kind of gears into that spring football at the end of May or at the beginning of May, where we finished with our spring game versus Chalmette, who was a big time test for us this year. That's going to come back to really pay dividends for us down the road. And then we give the last little bit of May off for them to travel, finish up school, focus on their exams, and then just kind of flip that hat. A lot of those guys, you got to flip your hat to your senior year because it's the last ride. And then, in the course of summer, June is our really long month. There's no breaks in June. Then you have your 7-on-7 summer league on Wednesday mornings at 10:30, which everyone is welcome to come watch. And then July, July goes so fast because then you kind of mix in your 4th of July's, your off week to where some families can go travel. It kind of breaks up and goes really fast to where you hit August and it's time to go. And we've had one of our better summers. And really, again, everything we do, you want to make sure it turns into being football players and building young men that can play football. And that's where we're at. And now it's time to go. Our big thing this year is prove it. We talk about all these schools walking around with different slogans and different things on their shirts and, built different and all these cute little things. And at the end of the day, our big thing now is just prove it. Like, we thought Central proved that last year. They were built different last year. They went and proved it, and they're a great example right across the river, even though it's a big rivalry. They're a great example to use. You get that perfect storm and the kids buy in. And, it's our turn. If they can do it, anybody can do it. It's kind of been our mindset. And really, it's time to go prove it. Don't make excuses. Don't get pissy when you get a job given to you that you don't like or don't want. Just get the job done and prove it and go get it done.
You did mention the Chalmette spring game there, so I wanted to touch on that real quick. It was 7-3. Chalmette comes to Denham Springs, and on the scoreboard, they get the win there. And this is a team that was in the quarterfinals last year. Their first bit of success since the 60s, kind of like that Denham Springs team that had made it to the quarterfinals for the first time since the mid-'80s.
Yeah.
It had been the mid-'60s for them. So they had tasted some success and a good team that came into Yellow Jacket Stadium. What was your takeaways from that spring game?
Yeah, a perennial playoff team that's usually in that second, you usually get to that second round if you look at their history, especially the last few years. I think Tucker, the head coach, does a phenomenal job there. They got a great mix of kids, of just dudes that play the game hard, play the game nasty. And, we got out of that game exactly what we wanted. You don't always go in, you want to win, and, I get all that. But at the end of the day, that doesn't matter when it comes to the PowerPoint system and getting in the big dance. But you got that process, and that stopping the process is critical for us to see where we're at. And I try to challenge the kids to come out of that spring game with 11 starters offensively, 11 starters defensively, so we know who we got to give our attention to going into the summer. Still developing those others and those backups and those younger guys, but you got to have an idea who your dudes are going to be. And a lot of times after you face somebody like a Chalmette and you see where these kids are at, you see what you need to work on, you see what you need to focus on. And, we got everything out of that spring game we needed to continue to move forward and grow.
So if that would have been the one point of emphasis from the spring game, you feel like you got it?
Oh, yeah. You look at that. We got what we needed, man. I thought we played a very physical team, and we got physical. We moved the football at times. We made some mistakes that were easy to clean up and easy to get corrected. And, a lot of our mistakes that we made are some selfish mistakes that, you go ahead and get them out of your system now and learn from it, and let's move on.
All right, so that will do it for the off season. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we're going to talk about the scrimmage from Zachary last week, and then, of course, look to the Walker Wildcats coming in for the annual Jamboree here from Yellow Jacket Stadium. We'll be back after this timeout. It is the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up.
Peak Performance Physical Therapy has been serving the wonderful people of Livingston Parish for over 20 years now. This is Ben Wilson, Denham Springs High School, class of 98.
And the much younger Stephen Wilson, class of 2003. We are honored to have the opportunity to help those in our community return to a normal way of life following injury. From the geriatric population to the young athlete, we are committed to helping you become stronger, faster, and better.
So for all of your physical therapy and rehab needs, come see us at Peak Performance Physical Therapy located in Denham Springs at 145 Aspen Square, or visit our website at peakperformancephysicaltherapy.com.
Demco is more than just an electric company. We're your local member-owned co-op, your neighbors, your family, and your friends. Our not-for-profit structure means that we can invest in youth programs that empower the next generation to grow, lead, and make a difference. It's all part of our mission to strengthen our communities and create a brighter future for all. Demco, powering life and community. That's the cooperative difference.
We'll get back into the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up, Yellow Jackets and the Walker Wildcats. We were going to go to part 2 of that interview with Coach Brett Beard, but a little shortened warm-up here. Josh Ward now alongside Mitch Covington, and we're going to go ahead and get you your James Drugstore starting lineup, brought to you by James Drugstore, locally owned and operated, serving Livingston Parish for almost 100 years, where old-fashioned service meets modern-day medicine. That is James Drugstore, Florida Boulevard in Denham Springs. Defensively for the Yellow Jackets, defensive ends Devin Mack and Debo Scott. Nose guard Devin Cupid. Linebackers are Jackson Seguin, Cedric Polk, Caden Allen, and Bryson Smith. And defensive backfield it will be Jaden Washington, Lucas Gillen. Angel Morrow, sorry about that, and Quentin Clay. Offensively for the Yellow Jackets at left tackle, Angel Villagomez, left guard Caden Campbell, center Bryson McCabe, right guard Christian Ferguson, right tackle is Nate Black, the quarterback is John Goldman, and the in the offensive backfield it will be Hayden Ray, Brenton Paul, wide receivers Sean Goldman and Trey Sills. That is your James Drugstore starting lineup for the Yellow Jackets, and we will take this quick timeout for the national anthem. We are back with kickoff after this on the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up.
Since 1898, the Livingston Parish News, an award-winning media outlet, has served as the news source for our community. The Livingston Parish News is available in print and online at www.livingstonparishnews.com. For complete and comprehensive coverage of what is making news in Livingston Parish, as well as Livingston Parish sports, we have you covered. Opinions, politics, lifestyle, and the arts. No matter how big or small the story, the Livingston Parish News is your source for community news in our parish. Serving Livingston Parish for more than 120 years, it's the Livingston Parish News.
4 decades, Smith Accounting is celebrating its 40th anniversary. With Randy Smith, along with Mickey McMorris and a terrific staff, Smith Accounting Services can handle all of your accounting needs. Personal taxes, computerized payroll services, corporate income taxes, business taxes, and bookkeeping. Smith Accounting Services, 227 East Railroad, Denham Springs. Celebrating 40 years of service, count on it at Smith Accounting Services.
Fire and water, cleanup and restoration. ServPro of Livingston. The #1 choice in cleanup and restoration is ServPro of Livingston. Whether it's water damage, fire damage, mold, storm, or construction issues, let the highly trained professionals at ServPro of Livingston clean and restore your property and make it like it never happened. ServPro of Livingston is prepared for just about anything and is open 24/7, so ServPro is faster to any disaster. ServPro of Livingston, Florida Boulevard, Denham Springs. Soon to be at the old Albertsons. Fire and water, cleanup and restoration. ServPro of Livingston.
Denham Springs High School football broadcasts on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by Hunt's Tire Pros and Car Care in Central, Safe Voyage Tattoo, Use Safe and Lock, District Court Judge Brian Abels, Mashan and Associates General Contractors, David Azar Shelter Insurance Company, and Coconut Willie's Daiquiris. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
Welcome back in. Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up. That will do it for the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up at 205 South Range Avenue, serving Livingston Parish since 1977. Go see Stacey Phipps, James Adam McCants, and terrific staff over at Sporting Center. That is 205 South Range Avenue in Denham Springs. It is now time for Mitch Covington's Keys to the Game. Mitch, take it away, buddy.
Well, just getting started on the season right here, I believe O-line protection is going to be a big issue. That's the thing we talk about around the team a lot in the spring game and through the summer. How's the O-line going to hold up? Looking to see that tonight. Our defensive secondary, there's a few new pieces back there and, a couple new faces, coming that weren't on the team last year. So looking for those guys to step up. And then special teams, always in a Jamboree. You don't get a whole lot of looks for special teams in preseason practice. So everything's live tonight, and it made a difference last year. Walker missed a kick on the last play of the game, so special teams will play a big part tonight in the Jamboree.
Bravo will step up and kick it off from the 40-yard line. There's going to be fielded at the 30. Going midfield, still on his feet. Flag is on the play and being brought down at the Yellow Jacket 42-yard line.
That was Jaden Wilson running it back right there for Walker. Looks like there's going to be a block in the back. It's going to help bring it back a little bit. Walker had a good return. We just mentioned special teams. Like I said, in a lot of practice, in spring practice, you're getting all your offense and defense. In the summer, you're doing your 7-on-7s, all your passing game, and your offensive line getting their drill work. But your special teams, other than the kickers just kicking on their own and returners catching balls, you don't get a lot of live looks with the full 11 out there on the field. So Jamborees are a lot of times the first real action you get. I know last week at Zachary, they did put a little bit of live action at the end of the scrimmage in there, so that was good to try and get a few learning spots in before it matters. But special teams going to play a part tonight in the Jamboree as you get ready for a full season.
All right, so it will be a penalty against the Walker Wildcats. That will push them back. They had got to the Denham Springs 42, but Mitch, on that penalty, it will have them starting this drive at their own 25-yard line.
And so this is a Jacket defense as we head into the season. We like what we have up front. Got a lot of seniors up front on the defensive line. A couple of names we've heard a lot in the past. Debo Scott, senior defensive end. Devin Mack, senior defensive end. Devin Cupid, nose guard, a senior. That may be one of the strengths of the team is this defensive front.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Jace Evans at quarterback out of the shotgun. Gets the snap, goes over his head. It hits at the 10-yard line. He will have to cover it back inside the 10. Going to be 2nd and long now for the Wildcats. That's how you start off a Jamboree against your rival.
Yeah, maybe the center was really worried about the nose guard right on top of him, Devin Cupid. And so a shotgun start right there, nose guard right on top of him, and a little high snap on the first snap of the season for Walker. Maybe a little jitters right there, and Jackets are in a fortunate situation at the moment.
Will be 2nd down and 25 now. Ball back at their own 10-yard line for the Wildcats. Evans from the shotgun yet again. Another high snap. He's able to put this one down, puts it into the belly of the running back. We'll get a number for him for you in a moment as he got to the 13-yard line. We do want to say, sorry about the Walker personnel issues right now. We weren't able to get a roster before it. We were able to get a roster, but not a starting lineup. So we'll be filling this in as we go.
Yeah, we got the roster about 3 o'clock this afternoon.
That's
but,
correct.
We'll do the best we can with it. But the name you're going to hear a lot of this year, Angel Moro, a senior secondary player, safety, came in, helped make a tackle. He's a transfer in from Oakdale, and we hoping he can really play a big part both on the football and the basketball court as well for Coach Cav's basketball team.
Right from their own 13-yard line now for the Wildcats, it will be Evans out of the shotgun again on 3rd down and 22. He will hand the ball off again. That is going to be to London. London will spin around as he gets to the 17-yard line. It'll be 4th and long now for the Wildcats.
So a good first set of downs right there for the Jackets. The high snap really put Walker in a bad spot, backed up in their own end zone. Didn't want to, take too many crazy chances, backed up with the shadow of your own goalpost. So a couple of runs, bring out the punt team. Like I said, sometimes it's the first live looks you get with a full 11 out there on the field. So maybe this is a chance right here to make a big play with great field position, hopefully for the Jackets. Maybe we get after it, get a punt. Just see how it plays out.
Tanner Kerner will be back to receive for the Yellow Jackets. He stands right about midfield on 4th and 18 from their own 17 for the Wildcats. Here is a snap. Punt is away. It is going to hit at the 43-yard line of Walker and roll out of bounds just shy of midfield, but it will be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. 9:34 left here in this first half. We are back after this on Yellow Jackets Football.
Hi, I'm Jacob Neal, a nurse practitioner at North Oaks Urgent Care. When you're not feeling your best, whether it's an illness, injury, or something in between, you shouldn't have to wait to feel better. That's why we're here for you every day from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 4 convenient locations. Walk-ins are always welcome, or you can save time by reserving your spot online at northoaks.org/urgent care. We're here to provide expert care right when you need it.
North Oaks Health System, improving lives every time, every touch.
1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. He will start this drive on the Walker side of the field. It'll be at the Walker 48-yard line. It is going to be John Goldman at quarterback. Here is the snap. Hands it off to in the backfield. That is going to be to Brenton Paul. Come to the near side. Gets pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line, and that is going to be our first Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. Children-friendly, great food, locally owned by Big Mike O'Neill.
Senior running back / receiver, Brenton Paul. A lot of these guys, we can't really label them as receivers or running backs. They're going to do a lot of interchangeable parts. We've got some personnel we can move around. They're going to do a lot of misdirection in the backfield. Brenton Paul lined up at receiver right now, just got the handoff on the last play. You see big number 44, Hayden Ray, in his first year for the Yellow Jackets, leading the way on the first play.
On 1st down, Goldman will get it, rolls to his right, throws it into Hayden Ray at the 30-yard line, gets it to the 25, to the 20, still on his feet, pushed out of bounds at the Walker 15-yard line. Guess what that is? Another Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. Check out the Denham Springs Sports Hall of Fame at Big Mike's.
Mentioned Hayden Ray. He came over from Live Oak High School. He's a senior. Another guy going to be a football, basketball guy. But on the first play, he was the lead blocker for Brenton Paul. Brenton got around the corner. Hayden with a good block. Nice 12, 13-yard pickup on the first play. Right here, a little play action bootleg look. And Hayden Ray slipping out of the backfield, catching it in the flat, and then running over a defensive back on his way to another big pickup.
All right, said he was stepped out of bounds at the 19-yard line where it will be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Goldman from the shotgun will hand it off to Kerner in the backfield. Kerner going off the right side will be brought down at about the 15-yard line. Looks like they're going to put him at the 16.
So trying to watch that offensive line right there. The first two plays kind of bounced out to the edge. Didn't have to have a whole lot of look from the offensive line right there. Inside look, Tanner Kerner trying to run off between the right guard and right tackle, picking up a couple yards. Decent little hole there to start.
Going to be 2nd down and 8. It'll be the 17-yard line of Walker. Here's another handoff to Kerner. Finds a little seam. Gets to the 10-yard line. Still on his feet at the 5. Knocked out of bounds at the Walker 5-yard line. But that is going to be another Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. Big Mike's is open after the Denham Springs football games. Check it out at Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill.
And Kerner finding room on the middle of the interior for the Jacket line. Bryson McCabe, your center. Your right guard, Caden Campbell, doing a good job up there. Open up some running room. Angel Villa-Gomez at the left tackle. So my right tackle over there, Nate Black, senior offensive lineman, helping open up running room for Tanner Kerner on the first couple plays here.
8:15 left here in this first half. Is going to be 1st and goal for the Yellow Jackets from the 5-yard line. Here's a handoff in the backfield to Brenton Paul. Paul will be hit at the line of scrimmage and powers his way forward, still moving the pile with him. And it looks like they're going to call his forward progression at the 2-yard line.
I think Coach Beard's going to like that run by Brenton Paul. One of the things they've been working with him all offseason is he ran a lot of running back last year, starting tailback, but a lot of outside plays. They want to see him tougher and running harder on the inside. He just drug about 3 guys, 2 yards. The yards he picked up, he was pushing that pile forward. I know Coach Beard's going to like to see that.
2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. Goldman from the shotgun has Paul in the backfield. Will hand it off to Brenton Paul. Escapes one tackle, but then will be wrapped up for a loss on the play. They're going to put him back at the 6-yard line.
Well, that was a lot of white shirts
2
in the
steps
backfield.
forward,
just
1
then.
step back.
Almost like a screen pass, as quick as the Walker defensive front got into the secondary. I know they had a couple little blitzes coming in, a little 3-man front, 3 stacked linebackers almost with Walker, and it had some blitzes coming through. We didn't pick it up. There was at least 3 guys when Britton Paul got the handoff there to meet him right away. So 3rd and 6 right here. Jean Goldman, hadn't really talked about him yet, but you know Jean from basketball if you watched last year, and Jean played some quarterback. His sophomore year, started a couple games, got some action last year, and of course his receiver he's probably going to be looking for the most, his twin brother, Sean Goldman, out there, number 3. So we'll see what happens here on 3rd and 6 in the red zone.
3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. Goldman drops back, looks to throw it to the end zone. It's going to be caught for a touchdown to Sean Goldman.
We called a timeout right before the play.
No, they didn't.
Yes, we did.
Okay, we got a timeout called on the field. Walker takes there first. That was our first Goldman-to-Goldman connection. That doesn't count.
Called the timeout.
You did.
We called it.
Oh, we called the timeout.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought they did. Never mind. Yellow Jackets take the timeout. We will take it with them as well. When we return, it'll be 3rd and goal from the 6 after this on Yellow Jackets football.
Personal injury?
Boyer, Abear, and Angel.
Auto accidents?
Boyer, Abear, and Angel.
Workers' compensation?
Boyer, Abear, and Angel.
One law firm can handle all of your legal needs, and you don't have to fight big city traffic to find them. Mark Boyer, Dominic Amato, Lucas Schenk, and Allison Costanza have a team of 12 attorneys ready to assist you. The lawyers at Boyer, Abear, and Angel have invaluable experience that allows them to provide expert legal counsel that's professional, prompt, and productive. Small town values, big city results. Boyer, Abear, and Angel.
Welcome back in, Yellow Jackets football. Family Radio 91.9 FM on the web at johnfineproductions.com and streaming live on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. As always, if you are watching there at DS Jacket Vision, ask that you give it a like and subscribe. It'll keep you up to date with all things that we are doing at DS Jacket Vision. A little weather check, because it was a pretty rainy day around Denham Springs, but weather has cleared out. Skies are partly cloudy, 79 degrees, feels like 109 degrees, but here we are, Mitch. 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line for the Yellow Jackets. Goldman will send a man in motion, drops back, dances around, throws to his left. That is going to be incomplete, intended for Britton Paul in the end zone. That will bring up 4th and goal for the Yellow Jackets.
Well, a missed chance at points right there. We did have the touchdown pass. Nobody up top stopped because they thought they heard a whistle. The play was live up on the top side, but at the bottom, Coach Beard didn't like the way we had lined up with receivers. The trip set we had down here on the left side, called a timeout, and took away what would have been a touchdown, but maybe we wouldn't have been set. Could have been a dead ball penalty, anyway, might not have been set. Coach Beard didn't like the way we're lined up here, so didn't convert on the 3rd down, so Bravo's in to try and attempt to get us 3 points on the board.
Yep, going to be 23-yard attempt for Jonathan Bravo. Ball is on the right hash. Here's a snap. Kick is up. Field goal is through the uprights, and it is good. Yellow Jackets strike first. They lead at 3-0 with 6:38 left here in this first half, and we are back after this timeout on Yellow Jackets football.
Your local sporting goods store is Sportin' Center. Sportin' Center has all your Denham Springs and surrounding school shirts, caps, clothing, and fan gear. And Sportin' Center is more than just athletics, offering services for businesses and organizations. Sportin' Center does in-house monogramming, screen printing, laser engraving, and large format printing. They can handle all of your advertising, promotional, and sign shop needs with personal, one-on-one customer service. Serving Livingston Parish for close to 50 years. Sportin' Center, 205 South Range Avenue. Sportin' Center, more than just a sports store.
Denham Springs High School football broadcasts on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by BJ Pawn and Gun, Mr. Gaddy's Pizza, Liberty Auto Sales, Cypress Pharmacy and Gift Shop, Burning Lotus Tattoo of Denham Springs, and Quality Furniture Restoration. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
As we welcome back into Yellow Jackets football, it is Yellow Jackets 3, Walker 0, 6:38 left here in this first half Jamboree action from Yellow Jackets Stadium. Jonathan Bravo, after the field goal was good from the right hash, will come on to kick it off. Kicks it off from the 40-yard line. End-over-end kick to about the 30s. Picked up at the 34. Gets to the 35. Still on his feet at the 40. Going to be brought down just shy of midfield. All right, that is going to take us to our first Brandy Robertson State Farm Insurance scoring drive for Auto, Home, and Life. It's Brandy Robertson State Farm Insurance. Team members include Amanda Cook, Justin Summerall, Jana Goins, Brittany Watkins, and Katie Switzer. Visit betterwithbrandy.net. Mitch, we're just going to wing this one here.
Well, we know the Yellow Jackets went 46 yards right there on the drive and took about 6-7 plays. Unofficially, about 3.5 minutes off the clock there on that drive. We know it finished up with a Johnny Bravo field goal. It was how far?
23. I think it was
23 yard field goal. The Yellow Jacks were up 3-0 with 6:32 left in the first quarter of this Jamboree.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats. It'll be at their own 49-yard line, and there's going to be a handoff in the backfield to London again, and he'll be stood up at the line of scrimmage for no gain. So, Mitch, talk about this defensive front for the Yellow Jackets. You got Devin Mack returning, Darius Scott, who I know now goes by Debo. I learned that this week. So, and then you got Devin Cupid there at nose guard. So, this defensive front line for the Yellow Jackets looked to be pretty strong.
And they were very tough right there, and not a lot of running room upside in the middle just then. Walker tried.
Evans on 2nd down and 10 out of the shotgun. He is going to keep it himself. He is going to be hit at the line of scrimmage yet again and brought down for no gain. Will be 3rd down for the Wildcats.
Really good job there by linebacker. Your senior linebacker, Caden Allen, did a good job taking on a blocker, got off his block, made a tackle right there at the line of scrimmage. So brings us to our first water break of the year.
Yep, sure will. That is going to be the Water Tree of Denham Springs hydration break, brought to you by the Water Tree that simply makes you feel better and feel good. That's Railroad Avenue in Denham Springs. We are back after this timeout. It is Yellow Jackets football.
Sunshine Cleaners is a family-owned dry cleaning business that has operated in the greater Baton Rouge area since 1995. Let Sunshine Cleaners' knowledgeable, professional, and friendly staff take care of your dry cleaning and laundry needs. Whether you drop off or they pick up at your home or office, Sunshine Cleaners makes it easy and convenient. Sunshine Cleaners, Railroad Avenue in Denham Springs, with locations at Walker and Baton Rouge. Visit sunshinecleaners.net.
And that was your Water Tree of Denham Springs hydration break. It is going to be 3rd and 10 for the Wildcats. Ball will be at their own 49-yard line. With 5:59 left here in this first half, Yellow Jackets with a 3-0 lead over the Wildcats. Evans from the shotgun will hand it off. We'll give it to Caden Lewis, who goes around the end on the far sideline. He is going to be pushed out of bounds at the Denham Springs 48-yard line, where it will be 4th down now for the Wildcats.
And that was Angel Moro coming a long way from his free safety position to get up the field and stop a chance there for Walker to get a first down. He showed a lot of speed and athleticism getting up there and making a tackle from his safety position.
Going to be 4th down and 7. Wildcats keeping the offense on the field from the Yellow Jacket 48-yard line, trying to get some movement from the defensive line. They hold tight.
Defensive front did a good job of holding the water right there.
Yeah,
4th
hold
and
the
6.
water. That's the term, right?
They didn't want to let it get down to 4th and 1.
Evans will get the snap from the shotgun. We'll hand it off in the backfield to London, and London will spin around to the Denham Springs 44-yard line, maybe the 43. It's going to be close. He got a really good spot there.
But it's going to be a yard short, though. But, yeah, they got a great spot, I thought. They kind of marked it as helmet, not where the football was, but still going to be short. So they needed 6 yards. They got 5. The Jacket defense did a great job right there, first of all, not jumping on the hard count and then making the stop.
All right, we will take a quick possession timeout. We will be right back after this on Yellow Jackets football.
Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill has it going on. Big Mike's has burgers, steaks, seafood, pizza, salad, sides, and desserts. 40 TVs. Big Mike's is open late after the game. Live music on the weekend. Locally owned and operated by Denham Springs High School graduate Big Mike O'Neill. Check out the Denham Springs Athletics Hall of Fame at Big Mike's. Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill, 123 Aspen Square, Denham, or delivery through DoorDash or Grubhub.
As we're welcome back in, Yellow Jackets football, going to be a handoff in the backfield. Tanner Kerner will get about a yard on the carry as they started the drive from their own 42-yard line.
And there's going to be a lot of read action happening right there with John Goldman and his running backs, whether it's Brenton Paul, whether it's Tanner Kerner or Enzo Washington, who we'll see later on, Enzo Landry later on. He's got the ball in the belly, the running back, but he's still looking at the defense. We hit Hayden Ray up the seam against Zachary for a big touchdown when he pulled it, watching the linebackers jump up.
2nd down and 9. Goldman will hand it off to, no, he will fake the handoff. We'll get it to Hayden Ray at midfield. Hayden Ray at the Walker 45, brought down at the Walker 40-yard line. That is going to be a Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. Big Mike's is open after the Denham Springs game, and you can cater your next party from Big Mike's. That is Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill.
And just as we were talking about right there, Goldman was able to read the action. He saw linebacker stepping up for the run. He pulls it out. Hayden Ray just went about 6 yards, turned around, spotted up. Goldman hit him, but then Hayden Ray showing good athleticism, catching and running afterwards, breaking a couple tackles, showing good speed, picking up a big first down.
And Tanner Kerner caught me off guard there. Here is a batted into the air by the front line of Walker there. Goldman had a defender in his face rather quick.
Yeah, that was Dylan Bro coming off the outside edge for Walker right there. Running back sometimes, also an outside linebacker for Walker. He came off the edge. We tried a quick screen pass in the backfield. Brenton Paul was over here trying to get a little jailbreak screen action, but Bro did a good job getting his hands up and batting it down. See a lot of highlights of Tyrann Matthew knocking balls down. He would bat it up and catch it himself.
That's kind of how that was. Yeah, remember that Kentucky game.
Bro was only able to knock it down right there.
All right, going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Yellow Jackets from the Walker 40-yard line. Goldman out of the shotgun, fakes the handoff again. We'll get it to Hayden Ray, escapes a tackle, gets to the 35, still on his feet at the 30. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5, and he is in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Hayden Ray, 40 yards, making the guys miss. Barrel into the end zone. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets.
Well, we mentioned his name on the first and second play of the game. New face for the Yellow Jackets right here, and he is making his presence felt very early. Every time he's caught the ball tonight, the third time, he has broken at least one tackle and picked up more yards. Right there, he breaks a tackle at about the 40 yards and then ran past a lot of Walker defenders. So he's a big guy. He's got good hands. He showed you he can run through some tackles, but he's also got the speed. I mentioned last week against Zachary, he had about a 65, 70-yard touchdown where he caught it wide open, but they had a lot of cornerbacks trying to chase him down, and he outran them in a foot race to the end zone. So what a weapon he is showing to be right now very early in the season for the Jackets.
Yellow Jackets trying to make it a 10-point score here with a Jonathan Bravo extra point. Dylan Johnson is the holder. Here is a snap. It is a bag one. It is going to be a flag on the play.
Got a great jump as far as he was already in the backfield when that ball snapped. The referee on the sideline got it, but the guy on the edge for Walker just came around a little bit early. And so
false start?
Nah, I think they got that one backwards, huh? Or maybe we flinched on a snap or something. And that's what made him jump. But the Walker defender was definitely in the backfield before the ball got snapped. But it could have been on us. Maybe we flinched and made him move. But when you false start,
it's
a dead ball. So Walker can't decline it because if anybody, whether the center flinched with his hands or somebody in our line moved, it's automatically blown dead. So it doesn't matter that Walker had blocked it. We get to retry it.
Yeah, Bravo likes a little distance anyway. He's trying to get into midseason form here.
Right here early on, Evan Sykes is snapping. He's a sophomore, and then we also got a new holder right here, senior backup quarterback.
Extra point is up. Through the uprights, extra point is good. 4:28 left here in this first half of the 2025 Jamboree from Yellow Jackets Stadium. We are back after this timeout. It is Yellow Jackets football.
The tradition continues. The Whistle Stop has been serving Denham Springs for years, and they're still doing that. But they're now locally owned by former Jackets football star Brandon Rishu. The Whistle Stop still has the same friendly staff, the great coffee and French cuisine, and wonderful service. And don't worry, Brandon owns the joint, but he won't be cooking any of the delectable cuisine or brewing the coffee. He'll let the professionals handle that, as they have been at the Whistle Stop, East Railroad Avenue in the heart of Denham Springs.
As we welcome you back in to Yellow Jackets football, it is on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. As always, give it a like and subscribe. It is on Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the web at johnfineproductions.com. And we will have Jonathan Bravo kicking it off here. Yellow Jackets with a 10-0 lead now over Walker with 4:28 left here in this first half. Here is the kick, a nice end over end. All the way to the 1-yard line. On the return, he gets to the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25. He's at the 30, still on his feet. Makes a man move at the 40. He's at midfield, still off. He's at the 40, the 30. He's at the Denham 20, the 10, the 5, and in for the touchdown, 99-yard return. My goodness. Rashad London on the return. I think he went a full 99 yards, Mitch.
It was a low line drive kick, but it was definitely back there to about the 1. And we mentioned as the keys to the game, number 3, the special teams.
Yeah, you sure did.
You don't get a lot of reps as the whole team going downfield with a full unit out there in front of you and a lot of action. And I can just tell you right now, there was a little bit too wide of depth between our coverage guys in the middle because Walker set up a good wedge. He went straight through the middle of the field, didn't try to bounce around side to side, and they found a great lane working through the middle, showed a lot of speed right there, outrun the rest of the defenders to the end zone.
All right, extra point coming up for the Wildcats. Kicker is going to be Aaron Stern. Waits the snap. Snap. set kick. It is going to be shy.
Yep,
it was just shy. I think you get a hand on it for sure. So the extra point will be no good. And with 4:12 left in this first half, Denham Springs 10, Walker 6. Back after this quick timeout, it is Yellow Jackets football.
Like it was never there, Louisiana Tree Pro is your tree care specialist, expertly handling tree removal, tree trimming, stump grinding, and storm cleanup with 24-hour emergency tree removal. And Louisiana Tree Pro does it the right way with properly licensed and insured professionals who will get the job done quickly and safely with a quality result. Their goal at Louisiana Tree Pro is to leave your property better than they found it. That's why their motto is, like it was never there. Denham Springs owned and operated by Josh Howard. That's Louisiana Tree Pro.
As we welcome back in Yellow Jackets football, we're going to try to catch up here on our Brandy Robertson State Farm Insurance scoring drive that is brought to you by Brandy Robertson State Farm Insurance for auto, home, and life. It's Brandy Robertson State Farm Insurance. Team members include Amanda Cook, Justin Summerall, Jana Goins, Brittany Watkins, and Katie Switzer. Visit betterwithbrandy.net. All right, Mitch.
Well, the Yellow Jackets went 58 yards just a little bit ago and finished it off with a John Goldman to Hayden Ray, 42-yard touchdown pass, a little quick throw out to the flats, and Hayden Ray caught it and did the rest of it. And then at that point, with 4:28 on the clock, the Yellow Jackets went up 10-0. But here we are 16 seconds later, a kickoff return for a touchdown, and Walker's back in it. Although we got good pressure on the extra point there and was able to look like we got a hand on it because that kick came up short most time on your extra point. It kind of came out wobbling a little bit. We probably got a finger on it coming off the edge, and so Jackets are still up 10-6 after Walker answered with the kickoff return.
That's your Brandy Robertson State Farm Insurance scoring drive. Mitch, I feel like we haven't been able to catch our breath up here since we started. It's just been bang. We thought they were going to have about 30 minutes before they kicked it off, and then they were like, nope, they're flipping the coins. We got going there, and then from there, it's just been bang, bang, bang.
From the start, that's been happening. I looked like somebody called a timeout. I'm not sure if it was us or them, but yeah. Normally, between the game and these jamborees for the last couple of years, when it's us and Walker, they take about 40 minutes, maybe 45 between games. And this time it took about 25 minutes and caught us a little bit off guard. So we've been scrambling to catch our breath and get called up.
So let's catch our breath right now. Well, during this timeout, we'll keep it here so we don't have to keep jumping back and forth. So, Mitch, looking at this team, though, there's a lot of excitement around this one. Coach Beard talks about the large senior class. I think he said 42 is the official number. Reminds him a lot of that quarterfinal team that we had a few years ago where we went up to Benton and had that miraculous second round finish and then come back here and play Ruston, who ended up the state champions that year. Were they runner-up that year? Or
they did get runner-up. But Ruston got state champs the next year.
That's right, yeah.
After that. And then went back again this past year where Central beat them. So Ruston went 3 years in a row.
Well, I don't think they beat them. I think they drummed them. I think it's
more than beat them. Yes.
But, yeah, a lot of excitement around this team, Mitch, and we're seeing here early just this offense has got some weapons on it as you continue to try to put that puzzle together, from week to week, how you see it evolve. And I think you kind of said it earlier, kind of like the spin offense that Del Weiner used to do at Catholic. Here's a kickoff from the Wildcats now. Tanner Kerner back to receive, gets it at his own 5-yard line. He's to the 10, the 15, the 20, 25, and will be hit around the 25, stays on his feet, and will be brought down at the Yellow Jacket 27-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for Denham Springs. So talk about this offense and what we can expect.
There's excitement for this offense. We mentioned if the offensive line can hold up and do their part, we've got some good pieces in the skill position game. John Goldman, we know, can throw the ball. He can run the ball. Last year he came in a lot as kind of like a wildcat quarterback, more of a run threat, but he's got a good arm and can pass the ball. We've got a good skill set between guys of Trey Seals, a receiver, Sean Goldman, a receiver, Brenton Paul, a receiver. All those guys can run with the ball in the hand. They're going to get the ball on some reverses and some counter action, even though they're receivers. We've seen Hayden Ray. He's a lead blocker some plays, and we get the ball out to him in the flats and other plays. He can run good pass routes. So a lot of versatility with what we have with our skill guys.
Yellow Jackets starting at their own 27-yard line. Here is a quick throw from Goldman to Goldman, and he will be tripped up at the 35. They'll give him the 36-yard line.
A little quick screen out there to Sean Goldman, who did a good job of working his way through the traffic and picking up 8 or 9 yards on first down. Anytime you go from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 1, you like your chances in that situation. So this is a spot with 2nd and short. A lot of times you might try a little trick play, maybe try something, take a deep shot, or do you go ahead and just try and get the 1 yard and for the first down? You got a down to play with if you want to.
Denham Springs 10. Walker 6, 2nd and 1 for the Yellow Jackets, their own 36-yard line. Here's a handoff in the backfield to Brenton Paul. Trips up on the turf and will go down at the 37-yard line, so right at the first down marker. We'll see if they give it or if they want to do a measurement.
Looks like they're going to move the chains, I believe, for a first down. Yes, they are.
Yep.
But
All right.
Brenton went on the right side and was bounced to find some room on the left and probably had a little more room to run. He just kind of tripped up as he made that move from right to left.
It's Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill. Jackets first down. Come book your party in one of Big Mike's banquet rooms. That is Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill. Going to be first and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. It will be at their own 37-yard line. Goldman from the shotgun will hand it off in the backfield to Brenton Paul again, trying to go off the right side, and he is going to be stopped for, they're going to give him a 2-yard gain to the Yellow Jacket 39.
So far, a lot of the runs tonight have been on the right side. Christian Ferguson and Nate Black, a couple of the guys over there on the right side of the offensive line. On the left side over here, Caden Campbell, Angel Villa-Gomez. We've been moving some guys around. There's still been kind of a work in progress with that O-line, trying to find the right combination and where it's going to work out best. Tonight, that group's been doing a pretty good job.
Second down and 8 from the 39-yard line now. Goldman looking to throw to the far sideline, trying to hit the twin Sean, and it is going to be incomplete. As that one just a little too high for Sean's reach.
Little sprint out action to his right, trying to find 3 receivers out there on the right side of the field. A little flood action right here, and that was the middle receiver we were looking at with his brother Sean Goldman. Just not a lot of room, pretty good coverage in the secondary for Walker on that one, and almost kind of like a throwaway right there to make sure we didn't put the ball in danger. So a good decision. You don't want to turn it over. If it's not open, throw it right near the sideline. We either catch it or it's incomplete, and we play third down.
Third down and 8, their own 39-yard line. Empty backfield for Goldman. He drops back, looking to throw, trying to hit Tanner Kerner down the near sideline, and is going to be incomplete at the Wildcat 25-yard line, and that brings up fourth down for the Yellow Jackets. The first fourth down of the night, huh?
Yes, and a little bit like we talked about before, Tanner Kerner split out at a receiver position right there, and he had his man beat on the go route on the outside. It was just that, Jean, as he was making his progressions, he was checking spots over the middle of the field first and then came back to the outside to Kerner and overthrew him just a little bit, but Kerner can play receiver, he can play running back, just like a lot of those other guys can get the ball in the backfield or they can catch it downfield.
Luke Wilson will be the punter for the Yellow Jackets on fourth down. Here is the snap. Punt is away, and it will hit at the 31-yard line. We'll roll out of bounds. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like it's going to be at the Walker 30, and that's where they will have it with 2:01 left in this first half. Denham Springs 10, Walker 6. Back after this on Yellow Jackets football.
Denham Springs High School football broadcasts on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by Brandon Rishu with Smart Move Real Estate, Baton Rouge KOA Campground in Denham Springs, the law office of IVL Graham Family Specialists, Brian Ross, owner, OK Computers and Auto Sales, Dr. Chip Bankston and Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Pony Up Restoration is now open at the Old Dave's Hardware. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
As we welcome back in, Yellow Jackets football, first and 10 for the Wildcats. It'll be at their own 30-yard line, handoff in the backfield to London, and he will pick up 2, maybe 3 yards on the carry.
It looked like that was Devin Mack's position up there on the right defensive end, holding his ground pretty good. Walker found a little bit of running room, but it was tough running room. There wasn't a lot there. Doing a good job, still trying to stay patient in the run game, keep working and trying to soften that defensive line up. But we've been pretty strong up front, and they're not getting much more than 2 or 3 yards an attempt right now.
Second down and 7 for the Wildcats, their own 33-yard line. Evans from the shotgun gets a high snap again. We'll hand it off to London, and London will spin around to the 40-yard line. That will be a first down for the Wildcats. That's their first down of the night?
Yes, it is. First down, correct. And that was, good job. The Sykes did a good job of going up. Jace Evans, quarterback for Walker, did a good job going up high, catching the snap. Looked like maybe it kind of caught our defense flat-footed, thinking the ball might be about to pop off his hands and be a fumble, and they found some good running room just then.
First and 10, Wildcats, their own 40-yard line. Evans from the shotgun with receivers to either side will hand it off again to London. London trying to go off the left side, and he will be stuffed and brought down for a loss on the play, a loss of 2.
Also, you look at the game clock. So even though it is the first quarter, we know in a Jamboree it's just 2 halves. So basically you're playing half of a football game. And so it's running down under a minute. Walker right here being patient. They're not trying to, push the ball down the field too quickly and get a turnover and something, dangerous go their way.
Coming up, it will be the Whistle Stop Cafe halftime report. Second down and 12 for the Wildcats. Evans will throw it downfield. It is going to be caught by the Wildcats at the Yellow Jacket 42-yard line.
Loose. Lucas Gillen, the safety, came in and knocked it loose. When he came down with the ball, it squirted out at the end. Lucas Gillen, coming from a safety position, was able to break it up. Both officials on the sidelines were signaling incomplete right there. So looked like a catch right through the middle, trying to split the two safeties up the seam route through the middle. But Lucas Gillen, a senior defensive back, came over, made a good hit, and knocked the ball loose.
Travion Helm was the receiver, or intended receiver rather, and he went up and tried a high point and almost made a good catch. I thought he had it, but the down marker he was running down, he was like me. He thought it was going to be a first down, but it is going to be third down now. Yeah, it should be 3rd and 12 for the Wildcats from their own 38-yard line. 24 seconds left here in this first half. Denham Springs 10, Walker 6. Evans from the shotgun steps back. Will throw it. It's going to be off the fingertips of Kermit Jackson for the Wildcats. Brings up 4th down with 20 seconds left.
Walker's going to be a little disappointed. Coach Mahaffey will that ball dropped to the ground. You run a screen pass hoping it's safe, that either A, you make a big play and pop a long run after the catch, or B, you get tackled and you let it go to halftime, because we've already used a couple of our timeouts here in this first half. Early on, down by the goal line, we used one. There was another timeout. I believe it was us that called it earlier, or maybe Walker did call that one before the kickoff, but down to 20 seconds right here. Well, I think Walker would love to let that clock roll. Absolutely.
It will be Tanner Kerner back to receive for the Yellow Jackets. Stands back about his own 30-yard line. 4th down and 12 for the Wildcats from their own 38. Here is the snap. Punt is away. Sky punt will be fair caught by Tanner Kerner at the 37-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets after this quick timeout. It is Yellow Jackets football.
Hey, it's Max Sellers from Ralph Sellers Chevrolet. We are again excited to be a sponsor of the Denham Springs Fighting Yellow Jackets football team this year. We appreciate all the support from your community in our first few years in business, and we are excited about things to come. Whether it's a new or used car, truck, or SUV, award-winning service from our dedicated service and parts staff, or even an outstanding collision repair for your vehicle, Ralph Sellers Chevrolet wants to earn your business. From our Ralph Sellers Chevrolet dealership family to your school family, go Jackets!
As we welcome back into Yellow Jackets football, going to be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. 20 seconds left here in this first half. 12 seconds, yeah. What is that?
It was 20 before the punt.
Oh, that's right, yes, yeah. Here is the snap to Goldman on 1st and 10. Rolls. He is going to throw it downfield, looking for a wide open Brenton Paul, who has it at the Wildcat 25-yard line and trips down at the 15. It will be 1st down with 2 seconds left. I imagine Yellow Jackets will take a timeout here to stop the clock.
There's a flag. I think the deep official threw a flag. Normally that's interference on somebody. Calling. It's going to be the ref first. He was looking at Coach Beard asking, you want to decline it, right? Because they were calling defensive holding on another defender that was running downfield, but the referee first signaled toward Dental. But that's going to be a catch. If Brenton Paul could have kept his feet, we'd have had a touchdown with it right there. But he did complete the big play. Nice pass right there by Goldman. Faked a little rollout to the right, spun back around to the left. Brenton Paul was just a deep post route from an outside receiver position and a big throw and catch. And the Yellow Jackets are now, looks like at about the 14-yard line when this ball gets marked.
Yep, and it does look like Denham Springs took that timeout to stop the clock with the 2 seconds. So, Mitch, and the Jamboree, obviously this one won't mean anything when it comes to power ratings or stats and all that good stuff. But when you look at this one, do you want to give Jonathan Bravo an opportunity to kick a field goal with some light underneath the Friday night lights, or do you want to take a shot to the end zone and see what your offense can do?
Me personally, I would like to try and see him kick a field goal right here. Just start stretching out a little bit. Last year, we never kicked anything more than about 30 yards. That's about the farthest we went. This would be a 32, and he is going to come out here to kick the field goal attempt. You know, it's a good chance to work on it in live situations and live action. You know, maybe in another game, another spot or something, maybe you might just try to push it to the end zone, but it's a good rep for the field goal unit. And then, as I was mentioning a while ago, it's also a new center this year, a new snapper. We got Evan Sykes, a sophomore, has done a good job so far on the first two. Dylan Johnson is a senior backup quarterback. He's the holder. So all the unit right here looking for good execution.
32-yard field goal attempt. Ball is on the left hash. Luke Wilson is the holder.
Just now marked in play by the referee. So the play clock just now starting.
Here's a snap. Here's the kick. It is going to be through the uprights, and it is good. 32-yard field goal. Bravo, Jonathan, and that will send us to the half with Yellow Jackets 13 It is Walker 6. Coming up, it is the Whistle Stop Halftime Report, brought to you by the Whistle Stop, with the same great French cuisine and coffee and fast, friendly service, but now locally owned by former Jacket Brandon and Courtney Rishu. It is the Whistle Stop, East Railroad Avenue, in the heart of Denham Springs. We are back after this time out. It is Yellow Jackets football.
If your saving for retirement approach involves the phrase, "I'll get around to it someday," Edward Jones can help. When it comes to meeting your goals, time can be on your side, and there's no better time than now to get started toward your retirement goals. Edward Jones Financial Advisors Scott Landry and Sims White can help. Stop by their office at 179 Del Orleans. That's Scott Landry and Sims White at Edward Jones, 179 Del Orleans, right across from the post office. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
You are our first priority at Innovative Audio. Innovative Audio offers the very best selection of mobile audio and video, window tint, and vehicle security. Innovative Audio's installation and tinting is the finest in the industry. And Innovative Audio's work comes with lifetime warranties on all audio, video, and tint installations. Most importantly, Innovative Audio specializes in serving you. You are our first priority at Innovative Audio, 1400 South Range, Denham Springs. Visit us on Facebook.
Denham Springs High School football broadcasts on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by Livingston Parish Clerk of Court Jason Harris, Family Wellness and Healthcare of Louisiana, El King Company, Performance Collision Center, Denny Pauline with 5-Star Printing, Horace Wilkinson State Farm Insurance, Sport Clips, and Dr. Brandon Wax with the Eye Center of Denham Springs. We thank you so much for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
If your saving for retirement approach involves the phrase, "I'll get around to it someday," Edward Jones can help. When it comes to meeting your goals, time can be on your side, and there's no better time than now to get started toward your retirement goals. Edward Jones Financial Advisors Scott Landry and Sims White can help. Stop by their office at 179 Del Orleans. That's Scott Landry and Sims White at Edward Jones, 179 Del Orleans, right across from the post office. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Bank Plus, together with Zelle, makes it easy to send money straight from your smartphone to friends, family, the yard guy, babysitters, or millions of others with access to Zelle. So yeah, pretty much anyone. And of course, they can all send you money too. Settle that dinner tab with Zelle. It's free, fast, and secure. And right in the Bank Plus mobile app. Your bank, your plus. Learn more at bankplus.net. Member FDIC. Zelle is available to United States bank account holders only. Terms and conditions apply.
Like it was never there, Louisiana Tree Pro is your tree care specialist, expertly handling tree removal, tree trimming, stump grinding, and storm cleanup with 24-hour emergency tree removal. And Louisiana Tree Pro does it the right way with properly licensed and insured professionals who will get the job done quickly and safely with a quality result. Their goal at Louisiana Tree Pro is to leave your property better than they found it. That's why their motto is, like it was never there. Denham Springs owned and operated by Josh Howard. That's Louisiana Tree Pro.
As we welcome back in to the Whistle Stop Halftime Report, Josh Ward alongside Mitch Covington. Wow, what a first half, man. We haven't been able to stop, but we do have to do a little cleanup work here. We got to get our Brandy Robertson State Farm Insurance scoring drive in there because Jonathan Bravo did hit a 32-yard field goal to 31 officially. All right, so go ahead, Mitch. Give us that Brandy Robertson State Farm Insurance scoring drive.
Well, the Yellow Jackets took over after forcing the punt with just 12 seconds left, and we did this once last year. Coach Beard, instead of deciding just to run it one time and sit on, I think it was East Ascension, we pushed the ball down the field and made a big play, and it made a difference and helped us win the ball game. Here we took a shot down the field. John Goldman found Britton Paul on a deep pass down on a deep post, getting down to the 14-yard line. We was able to kick a 31-yard field goal at the end of that, Johnny Bravo. And so to end the first half, Johnny Bravo drills the 31-yard field goal. The Yellow Jackets take a 13-6 lead at the halftime.
That's your Brandy Robertson State Farm Insurance scoring drive for auto, home, and life. It's Brandy Robertson State Farm Insurance. Team members include Amanda Cook, Justin Summerall, Jana Goins, Brittany Watkins, and Katie Switzer. Visit betterwithbrandy.net. As always, we come to you live on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. We ask that you give it a like, give it a subscribe. Certainly appreciate that. Keeps you up to date with all things that we are doing here at DS Jacket Vision, Family Radio 91.9 FM, and on the web at johnfineproductions.com. So again, Mitch, man, what a first half there. I feel like I haven't been able to stop, and it's a lot shorter for the players and us as well. But man, this has just been bang, bang from the beginning.
A lot happening, and I hope this is going to be an indication of what we're going to see all season long from the Yellow Jacket offense. We see a lot of big play opportunities. We see an explosive-looking offense right now. We, start out the game, Brenton Paul, a couple good runs on the outside, and then we find some passing from Sean Goldman to Hayden Ray. New addition, Hayden Ray has really had a big first half right here. And then also last week I mentioned in the scrimmage against Zachary, a little RPO read. Sean Goldman faked it to the running back up in the middle, reading the linebackers, and then found Hayden Ray right up the seam for about a 70-yard touchdown. And he's shown an ability to make big plays in the passing game. We got a lot of other receivers out there that make something happen. You saw Brenton Paul go from running back to receiver, catching the ball down the field. Of course, we know twin brother Sean Goldman almost had a touchdown, but we called a timeout right before the ball was snapped. But like I said, maybe we were lined up wrong and it would have got blown dead anyway and been a flag. So, that turned into a scoring drive, though. We kicked the field goal. So we've had 4 drives and we scored on 3 of them. And one of them, really, we had 12 seconds to score. So good start with the Yellow Jacket offense, like what we've seen there. The Yellow Jacket defense, they've done their part as well, too. They've been really strong in the run game, doing great up front. That's what we're hoping to see this year. That secondary is going to be something we're going to get tested on as the season goes along. Right now, Walker's sticking a lot with the running game, hadn't tested the secondary.
I was about to say that, Mitch. I swear I was about to say the question mark for this defense is probably the secondary, and we haven't seen them test it here tonight. Good point. It was like we had talked about it before, which we hadn't.
We both had the same game notes,
yes.
I think.
Yeah,
we both
right. Yes,
were watching from Zachary,
yes.
and we've talked to the same people, and we know that's going to be something we want to watch, and we see how we're going to hold up back there in the secondary. And Walker's ran the ball a good bit so far in this first half. We've held up really well. Of course, you say, well, how they got 6 points? Well, a 99-yard kickoff return. Excellent job by the Walker return team right there. Set up a really good wedge, and the returner took the ball right through the middle right there, Bouchard London, and took it 99 yards for a touchdown. So that's how they got their points on the board. And then, like I said, the Yellow Jacket offense moving the ball really well. I'd like to see that continue in the second half, and that's something we can build on going on into the season.
All right, 13-6 is the halftime score here. Jamboree of the 2025 season between the Yellow Jackets and the Walker Wildcats. We will take a timeout. When we come back, we will continue on with the Whistle Stop Cafe halftime report back after this on Yellow Jackets football.
You already know that State Farm agent Brandy Robertson offers great service, but what you probably didn't know is that State Farm also has surprisingly great rates on auto insurance. In fact, customers call them jaw-dropping. And the surprise isn't reserved for just some. State Farm agent Brandy Robertson has surprisingly great rates for everyone in Denham Springs. Visit betterwithbrandy.net for your surprisingly great rates today. Just be sitting down when you do. Brandy Robertson, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Did you know that you no longer need a doctor's order to attend physical therapy in the state of Louisiana? This is Ben Wilson from Peak Performance Physical Therapy, reminding you that if you have an injury, nagging pain, or if you want to simply improve your overall health and well-being, come see us at Peak Performance. Gladly serving the fine people of Livingston Parish for over 20 years, now with 3 locations including Denham Springs, Watson, and Maurepas. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone.
Denham Springs High School football broadcasts on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by Forest Grove Plantation, Liberty Auto Sales, Shea Landry Closing Attorney, Milestone Title, Triton Outpatient Clinic, Livingston Parish Assessor Jeff Taylor, Modad One Individual Sewage Treatment System, and Duke Seafood and Steakhouse. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
Bond Roten Eye Clinic is your full-service eye care specialist. Dr. Hunter Bond and Dr. Chris Roten and their staff expertly handle all of your eye care needs. A former Jackets football player, Dr. Hunter Bond is proud to serve the Denham Springs community that gave so much to him. You can visit Bond Roten Eye Clinic at 222 Veterans Boulevard in Denham Springs or call 791-2020. That's Bond Roten Eye Clinic in Denham Springs with locations in Hammond and Ames.
You know, Demco is more than just an electric company. We're your local member-owned co-op, your neighbors, your family, and your friends. Our not-for-profit structure means that we can invest in youth programs that empower the next generation to grow, lead, and make a difference. It's all part of our mission to strengthen our communities and create a brighter future for all. Demco, powering life and community. That's the cooperative difference.
local sporting goods store is Sportin' Center. Sportin' Center has all your Denham Springs and surrounding school shirts, caps, clothing, and fan gear. And Sportin' Center is more than just athletics, offering services for businesses and organizations. Sportin' Center does in-house monogramming, screen printing, laser engraving, and large format printing. They can handle all of your advertising, promotional, and sign shop needs with personal, one-on-one customer service. Serving Livingston Parish for close to 50 years. Sportin' Center, 205 South Range Avenue. Sportin' Center, more than just a sports store.
And as we welcome you back in to the Whistle Stop halftime report, it is 13-6, Yellow Jackets over the Walker Wildcats. And Josh Ward alongside Mitch Covington. We got Chris Ledoux here with us on the camera. Darren Ferrente, our on-site producer. Lamine Figueroa back at the studio. John Fine is running around somewhere doing something as usual. Lord knows, the bleacher's a little tough for old Johnny here, so we'll get him through it.
Anybody.
Hey, it is. I'm gonna tell you,
I'm not afraid to admit it was tough to get to the top for me as well. So.
I get about halfway up, and I'm like, man, I feel like I should be to the top, but nonetheless. A lot of work going on around here facility-wise as well. There's now a visitor press box across the way that is was
it's
finished
not
up.
A visitor's practice. It's a track and field field event press box.
Okay, there you go.
So they got windows on the back right there with the track and field visitors press box. However, they have windows on this side that you can see the football field, and the visitors coaches are able to sit on that side.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, the biggest one is the field house that is under construction right now. And what a beauty that thing is. I mean, that thing is huge. We'll try to get a picture for it to show you on screen next week at the S Jacket.
I have some old memories of my sophomore year. I'm gonna date myself a little bit, but the Hornsby Gym right over here was being built my sophomore year, and on game film back in the day, you could see. At first, it was just the iron poles, and then a little bit of the bricks were coming up, and you see it built slowly throughout the year. Gonna be the same thing with this field house. It's right here next to the stadium. You can see it in the background as the season's going along. We think it's gonna be ready somewhere around Thanksgiving, and so that thing's gonna be beautiful.
Yes,
and
I can't wait.
Everybody's excited about it.
Absolutely. We'll take our final time out here, and when we come back, we will have you ready for the second half action of the 2025 Jamboree. We're back with more after this on the Whistle Stop Halftime Report.
Denham Springs High School football broadcast on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by You Safe and Lock, David Azar Shelter Insurance Company, District Court Judge Brian Abels, Coconut Willie's Daiquiris, Mashan and Associates General Contractors, Sport Clips, and Safe Voyage Tattoo. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses. The tradition continues. The Whistle Stop has been serving Denham Springs for years, and they're still doing that. But they're now locally owned by former Jackets football star Brandon Rishu. The Whistle Stop still has the same friendly staff, the great coffee and French cuisine, and wonderful service. And don't worry, Brandon owns the joint, but he won't be cooking any of the delectable cuisine or brewing the coffee. He'll let the professionals handle that, as they have been at the Whistle Stop, East Railroad Avenue in the heart of Denham Springs.
Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill has it going on. Big Mike's has burgers, steaks, seafood, pizza, salad, sides, and desserts. 40 TVs. Big Mike's is open late after the game. Live music on the weekend. Locally owned and operated by Denham Springs High School graduate Big Mike O'Neill. Check out the Denham Springs Athletics Hall of Fame at Big Mike's. Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill, 123 Aspen Square, Denham, or delivery through DoorDash or Grubhub.
Hi, I'm Jacob Neal, a nurse practitioner at North Oaks Urgent Care. When you're not feeling your best, whether it's an illness, injury, or something in between, you shouldn't have to wait to feel better. That's why we're here for you every day from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 4 convenient locations. Walk-ins are always welcome, or you can save time by reserving your spot online at northoaks.org/urgent care. We're here to provide expert care right when you need it.
North Oaks Health System, improving lives every time, every touch.
Welcome back in, Yellow Jackets football. That'll do it for the Whistle Stop Halftime Report, brought to you by the Whistle Stop, with the same great French cuisine and coffee with fast, friendly service, but now locally owned by former Jackets Brandon and Courtney Rishu. The Whistle Stop, East Railroad Avenue in the heart of Denham Springs. Ready to get underway here, second half action for the 2025 Jamboree, and here is the kick. Back to receive. Tanner Kerner will get it at the 9-yard line. Gets to the 15, now at the 20, the 25. Brought down at the 31-yard line where the Yellow Jackals will start. 1st and 10 from their own 31.
Pretty good starting position right there for the Yellow Jackets. Anytime you get it out across the 30, I feel that's pretty fair starting position and a good return. Tanner Kerner working up in there quick, trying to find a little bit of running room. And so here comes the Yellow Jacket offense. It had a really good first half. Let's see if we can keep that pace going here as we move to the second half.
All right, so 1st and 10, Denham Springs, their own 31. They lead at 13-6 over the Walker Wildcats. One more 12-minute half here from Yellow Jacket Stadium. It'll be the earliest Friday night we've had this season, or it will be this season, I mean. It'll be Goldman out of the shotgun. Here is a snap. Hands it off to Paul in the backfield. Gets to the 35, still on his feet at the 40, and will be brought down at the 41-yard line. So he's right at the first down marker.
That was a really good run right there by Brenton Paul. Walker brought a lot of pressure around the edge, but he took it kind of AGAT right behind center Bryson McCabe and also Caden Campbell, your right guard, and found running room, picked up 11, 12 yards for the first down.
Sporting Center has all your...
My mistake. Hit the wrong button there. 1st and 10. That's a Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. Here is handoff to Brenton Paul again, and he will get to the 42-yard line, 43. Looks like they'll get a 2-yard pickup on that 1st and 10 by the Yellow Jackets. Again, that was Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down, which they deliver through Grubhub or DoorDash.
The more success we can have on runs like that, the more times we can get a play where we get 5, 6, 7 yards running the football. Jean Goldman is watching those linebackers. The closer they get, he can pull the football and find a receiver down the field if they get too tight.
Picks the handoff to Paul. Goldman looking to throw it, gets hit as he throws, but it is going to be incomplete at the Walker 20-yard line, intended for
his brother Sean Goldman, but there's a little yellow hanky on the flag on the field. That's why it's incomplete. Looked like Jean, the quarterback, was pulling up and about to make a big throw and probably could hit his brother in stride, but he had a little bit of pressure in his face, so the ball kind of held up in the middle of the field just a touch for him. So as Sean was waiting for the ball to come down, the defender got there too early trying to break it up. So it's going to be a 15-yard penalty and a first down for the Yellow Jackets. But that's a third deep ball we've seen here in just a quarter and
a quarter and a couple
minutes. I'm trying
minutes.
to add real fast right here. But that's there we go. Yeah, a quarter and a minute and 9 seconds right here is all we've played. And we've seen 3 deep balls down the field. We've caught one. We've had an interference on one. And another we just overthrew by a little bit, but we were by them. So the Jacket receivers are doing a good job of getting open.
Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. Happy hour 3 to 7 weekdays and all day on Sunday. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. They will have it at their own 44-yard line. Here is Goldman out of the shotgun. We'll hand it off to Paul in the backfield, who will be tackled at the 45 for a loss of 1.
And that does happen sometimes with the slow developing. It's a little bit slow developing because we are reading it. Jean Goldman's trying to read the defense, trying to see where they're at. And Gavin Richard came around the back edge and was able to chase us down and get Brenton Paul in the backfield before we could get moving past the line of scrimmage. So a good job of getting upfield by Gavin Richard and just chalked that one up to a good play for the Walker defense.
Makes it 2nd down and 11 for the Yellow Jackets from their own 45-yard line. Goldman from the shotgun will send a man in motion. Here is a snap. Looks to throw. He does. Hits Hayden Ray in the flats. He's at the 40. The 35 stays on his feet. Going to be tackled shy of the 30-yard line, but should be enough for a Yellow Jackets first down. Make it another Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. Big Mike's is children-friendly, great food, locally owned by Big Mike O'Neill. That is Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill. 13-6. Yellow Jackets with the lead over the Wildcats. 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line.
Some of that versatility to show right there. Trey Seals is normally going to be a receiver for us most of the year, but he just lined up in the backfield, and we faked the handoff to him. So a lot of moving parts with this offense.
Here is Goldman on 1st and 10. We'll hand it off in the backfield to Paul. Paul will get across the 30, be brought down at the Yellow Jacket 29.
I'm just impressed right now with our running game. We are finding some running room. The Yellow Jacket offensive line, that was the number one key we talked about before the game, what we were going to see tonight, and they are doing a good job right now against this Walker front and finding some running room for guys like Brenton Paul or Tanner Kerner when Tanner Kerner's in the backfield. But right now, Brenton Paul in the second quarter has been the tailback, and he's done a really good job running the football here on this drive.
2nd down and 6 for the Yellow Jackets. Their own 29-yard line. Goldman from the shotgun will hand it off to Paul. Paul tries to go off the left side. He'll get to the 25, still dragging the pile with him. And it should be enough for a first down, and it will be a quick signal by the official to move the chains to make it another Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. Check out the Denham Springs Sports Hall of Fame at Big Mike's. That is Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill.
that one goes back to those running back drills. You always teach your running backs, get your high knees, get your feet up off the ground. A lot of people laying down by Brenton Paul's feet just then, but he kept those feet moving, kept getting them high, didn't trip up on anyone. He was able to drive to the first down.
On 1st and 10, it will be Goldman. Pressure coming, throwing it towards the end zone, looking for the brother Sean, and it is going to be incomplete. Looking for a flag on that one, but maybe uncatchable.
Yeah, we threw it a little bit out of bounds. Just ran out of room right there. I thought Sean was open. He had a step or two on the defender, but Sean wasn't able to get it to him in bounds. That ball was going to land out of bounds, and I think the official probably decided that although I don't think officially there is uncatchable in high school football, but realistically we weren't going to be able to make a play on it, so no flag on that one, and I think that's okay to not have one there because we weren't going to have a chance to make that play.
2nd and 10 now from their own 24-yard line for the Yellow Jackets. Goldman out of the shotgun, has Paul in the backfield. Here is a snap. We'll hand it off to Paul, coming to the near side. He's at the 20, shakes the defender to the 15, and going to be pushed out of bounds. Looks like they're going to mark him right about the 15-yard line. They may have gave him the 14, which would be enough for a first down, and it is. That is a Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. Big Mike's is open after the Denham games. That is Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill.
Good job running and good vision by Brenton Paul. That play was designed kind of up the middle, a gap, but he bounced it out to the right edge and then broke a tackle of a cornerback trying to dive down, take him down by the knees, and he was able to keep his balance, get by him, and go forward and get the first down.
8:23 left in this 12-minute half from the Yellow Jacket Stadium. It is Denham Springs 13, Walker 6. 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. It is at the 14-yard line. Here is a snap. Trying to go to the left side with nothing doing there.
Thought that might be one Jean Mike could actually pull. They had a lot of pressure coming off the edge, and Jean was looking at it, and I don't know if he had an opportunity to run or if his secondary play on that was to pass it out to the receiver, Trey Seals, up top. So maybe Trey was covered. If there was a chance for him to run that one, that would have been a good pull read because the defensive end was definitely crashing in on the running back on that play.
All right, makes it 2nd down for the Yellow Jackets. It's going to be 2nd down and 12 from the 17-yard line. Goldman will be out of shotgun. Kerner in the backfield. Rolls to his left, looking to throw it. He does. It is going to be caught on the far sideline. It is caught. Is that Goldman?
That's Trey Seals up there.
Oh, that's Trey Seals.
Yep,
okay, first time we called his number tonight. Number 6, Trey Seals, wide receiver for the Yellow Jackets.
First
number we
catch
called a few times last year.
First catch. Now it was actually Jean that threw the touchdown. I remember a touchdown he
No, that's
caught
right,
last
yep.
year against Prairieville in the second half. A long touchdown play from Jean Goldman to Trey Seals. So hope to see a lot of those this year. And nice little trade route. Or outside receiver came inside. Trey was on the inside, Trey Seals, and he went to the outside and broke to the sideline. Good route, got open, good throw, and good timing. And now we have a 3rd and short.
Got a great memory there, Mitch. 3rd and short for the Yellow Jackets. Ball right at the 5-yard line. It is going to be wrapped up in the backfield for a loss. So that is going to be 4th down. It was Brenton Paul on the carry for the Yellow Jackets. Brings up 4th down here. So, Mitch, you kind of want to move the sticks there, but you give Jonathan Bravo another chance, another Friday Night Lights, just to get more comfortable in that situation.
And this one might be more of a game situation because we're only up 7 points right now. So a field goal puts us up 2 scores with only 6 minutes left and 6.5 minutes left in the Jamboree. So I think this is more like just a live action. We want to get 2-score lead right here and send out the field goal unit. Walker did a good job on 3rd and 1. Got a lot of pressure in the backfield, and had it stayed 4th and 1, we probably go for it. But after the loss on the running play, out comes the field goal unit.
Call it a 25-yard field goal attempt here. Jonathan Bravo, here is the snap. Here's the kick. It is going to be through the uprights, and the field goal is
There's a flag
good.
in the backfield. I'm not
up.
sure what it's about. Everybody's kind of standing around. I know this. We're snapping it really quickly, so it's possible that now it looks like we're pointing this against them. So we're probably going to keep the points on the board. I don't know. What kind of flag would it be? It might give you a first down because you might get a first down inside the 5-yard line right here.
Well, I do know this. It's the 2nd flag on the extra point on the night. Or was the first one's on the extra point as well. And they called us.
Oh, they roughed the
false
kicker,
start.
it looks like.
Okay.
Personal foul, roughing, or just personal foul somehow. So it is our offense coming back out. We're going to take points off the board, but sometimes in college and pro you hear them never take points off the board. But if you're going to get a first down inside the 5, that's a good time to take points off the board. You got a chance to put up 7. So the Yellow Jacket offense is going to come back. We're going to be playing first down from the 4-yard line.
It's a Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. You can cater your next big party from Big Mike's. That is Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill. Going to be 1st and goal for the Yellow Jackets. Ball will be at the 5-yard line, 4-yard line.
4-yard line. A little power eye action, too tight.
Goldman will be under center, which I believe is the first time tonight. Here is a snap. Fakes the handoff. We'll give it to Paul, and it will be Paul in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets with the big Hayden Ray leading the way.
Hayden Ray was leading the way. I missed who the other fullback would have been back there, but that was a little bit of old school, 2 tight end, 3 backs in the backfield, getting straight downhill, a little ISO action on the linebackers, and there was a good hole on the left side of that offensive line, and Brenton Paul running hard and running through a tackler at the goal line to make sure he finished up in the end zone. And so, as we said, it's okay to take the points off when you're going to have 1st and goal inside the 5, and it paid off good for Coach Beard right there as the Jackets get a touchdown.
Dylan Johnson is the holder. Here's a snap. Kick by Bravo. Extra point is through the uprights, and the extra point is good. 22-6. Yellow Jackets leading over the Walker Wildcats with 6:08 left here in this last half of action for the Jamboree. We're back after this timeout. It's Yellow Jackets football.
Personal injury?
Boyer, Abair, and Angel.
Auto accidents?
Boyer, Abair, and Angel.
Workers' compensation?
Boyer, Abair, and Angel.
One law firm can handle all of your legal needs, and you don't have to fight big city traffic to find them. Mark Boyer, Dominic Amato, Lucas Schenck, and Allison Costanza have a team of 12 attorneys ready to assist you. The lawyers at Boyer, Abair, and Angel have invaluable experience that allows them to provide expert legal counsel that's professional, prompt, and productive. Small town values, big city results. Boyer, Abair, and Angel.
Denham Springs High School football broadcasts on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by Shay Landry, closing attorney, Milestone Title, Brandon Rishu with Smart Move Real Estate, Baton Rouge KOA Campground of Denham Springs, Brian Ross, owner, OK Computers and Auto Sales, Quality Furniture Restoration, and Dr. Chip Bankston and Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
We'll get back in. Yellow Jackets football, 22-6. Yellow Jackets with the lead over the Walker Wildcats. Jamboree from Yellow Jacket Stadium. We are about to have the kickoff here. Bravo has it teed up at the 40, and he will kick this one off. It's going to be end over end, short kick to the Yellow Jackets. They got it. It was recovered by Denham Springs.
All right, okay, this is going to happen. It's not going to be our ball here because the kicking team has to get
the flag.
The kicking team has to let the ball hit the ground first. You can't you can't go and jump in front of somebody and catch it. Even though nobody there for Walker was to catch it, we've got to let it hit the ground and then we can grab it. It's just one of those little quirks in the rule. It was landing in no man's land. The Walker did not have anybody there to catch it, but we've got to let the ball hit the ground first before we can try to gather it. So we're not going to end up with possession of the football on that play.
All right, so we will go ahead and knock our Brandy Robertson State Farm Insurance scoring drive in for you for Auto, Home, and Life. It's Brandy Robertson State Farm Insurance. Team members include Amanda Cook, Justin Summerall, Jana Goins, Brittany Watkins, and Katie Switzer. Visit betterwithbrandy.net. Hit it, Mitch.
For the 4th time in 5 drives, the Jackets have had put points on the board, and so another Brandy Robertson scoring drive. We have 69-yard drive. It took 5 minutes and 45 seconds. We ended up with a Brenton Paul 4-yard touchdown run, and with 6 minutes and 8 seconds left in the second quarter, which is the second half of this Jamboree, the Yellow Jackets take a 20-6 lead over the Walker Wildcats.
That is your Brandy Robertson State Farm Insurance scoring drive. Coming up in just a moment, it will be the Water Tree of Denham Springs hydration break in about 8 seconds from the clock.
But they're still trying to sort out what's going to happen in the penalty. Where can they make us re-kick it? Coach Mahaffey's talking with officials. What's going to end up? We might have to re-kick it. He might want us to do that since they already ran one back. But, it's just a weird thing. You got to let it hit the ground first. They do that so you can't pop it in the air and then basically go have a jump ball downfield like a Hail Mary. Everybody go run and jump for it. You have to give the receiving team a chance to catch it in the air, even though nobody from Walker was there. We didn't get anybody's way. The ball was landing in no man's land, but it's just got to bounce first before we can grab it.
That's one of those obscure rules that I'll be honest with you. I would have
been
like,
often.
Does it really? Where'd you get that one from, Mitch?
Just over the years.
You've had to have seen it at some
I used
point,
to be
huh?
a special teams coach. Those things just come up every now and then, and you see it happen. You watch a lot of ball games or coaching games, and weird things happen, and that's just one of those.
All right, so it is going to be Walker football. I do believe they are going to spot this one. So I guess they'll spot it from where we touched it and then 15 yards?
It's probably like a kick catch interference. So that's a little like a 15-yard penalty, or was it 10 they marked off?
I would say from where the
But whatever, Walker's got the ball at the
yeah.
47-yard line, so they're near midfield.
Yep, so Walker will have it 1st and 10. They will start it from their own 47-yard line. It is Jace Evans at quarterback. He works it from the shotgun, sends a man in motion. Here is a snap. We'll hand it off in the backfield to London, who will be tripped up for a loss of 1 on the play. So Wildcats really not challenging Denham Springs at all down the field in the passing game.
Yeah, the more I think about it, they've only thrown 1 screen pass and 1 ball downfield. Everything else has been a run.
All right, it is time for the Water Tree of Denham Springs Hydration Break, brought to you by Water Tree, water that simply makes you feel good. That is Railroad Avenue in Denham Springs, and we are back after this timeout. It is 20-6, Yellow Jackets with the lead, and we are back after this on Yellow Jackets Football.
Hey, it's Max Sellers from Ralph Sellers Chevrolet. We are again excited to be a sponsor of the Denham Springs Fighting Yellow Jackets football team this year. We appreciate all the support from your community in our first few years in business, and we are excited about things to come. Whether it's a new or used car, truck, or SUV, award-winning service from our dedicated service and parts staff, or even an outstanding collision repair for your vehicle, Ralph Sellers Chevrolet wants to earn your business. From our Ralph Sellers Chevrolet dealership family to your school family, go Jackets!
Since 1898, the Livingston Parish News, an award-winning media outlet, has served as the news source for our community. The Livingston Parish News is available in print and online at www.livingstonparishnews.com. For complete and comprehensive coverage of what is making news in Livingston Parish, as well as Livingston Parish sports, we have you covered. Opinions, politics, lifestyle, and the arts. No matter how big or small the story, the Livingston Parish News is your source for community news in our parish. Serving Livingston Parish for more than 120 years, it's the Livingston Parish News.
Welcome back in, Yellow Jackets football. Sorry about that. We were just getting in out of the break there. So, Mitch, catch me up on that play I just missed.
We got a really good play by Devin Mack as Walker was trying around the right edge, and the running back, Burchard London, almost got to the corner, and had he gotten by Devin Mack, he was definitely going to have enough room to pick up a first down, but Devin Mack was able to get him and drag him down and stop him to about a 4-yard gain, and so it's going to bring up 3rd and 7 for the Walker Wildcats.
3rd down and 7. It is ball right at midfield. It will be Evans out of the shotgun. Bunch of receivers to the near side. Now goes in motion. 3 receivers coming closer to the near sideline. 4 receivers set, 3 to the near, 1 to the far. Here is a snap. He drops back. He's looking. Pressure is coming. Steps up. Has some open field. He is on the run. Shakes a defender. He gets to the 45, the 40, Denham Springs 35. Brought down at the Denham Springs 30. Nope, ball is loose, and it is going to be covered up. Waiting to see who has it. Yellow Jackets believe they have it. Waiting for the signal.
I believe that's going to be Quentin Clay that came from behind and laid the big hit to knock the ball loose. It's going to be Yellow Jacket football.
Yep. Going to be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. We will take a quick timeout on possession of change here. It is Denham Springs 20, Walker 6. Back after this, it is Yellow Jackets football.
Bank Plus makes it easier to bank. With extended drive-through hours plus 24/7 online and mobile banking, we're here when you need us. Lost your debit card? Get a new one instantly at any Bank Plus location. No waiting for the mail. And interactive teller machines offer drive-up personal service 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturdays. Your bank, your plus. Learn more at bankplus.net. Member FDIC.
Welcome back in, Yellow Jackets football. 1st and 10, their own 31-yard line after the fumble recovery. It is going to be a handoff in the backfield. This time it is going to be Enzo Landry. First time we've called him, he goes off to the far side, picks up a couple yards on the carry. So we will be seeing him a good bit in the mix this year, no doubt, Mitch.
Yes, and it's going back to that last play. You know, the quarterback we had a good rush on him, and he broke through the middle of the pocket, and a lot of wide open field. Caden Allen was doing his best to try and bring him down, but he made him miss. And then as he was working upfield to try and get more yards, Jace Evans was trying to get more yards for Walker. Quentin Clay came from behind with a big hit, knocked the ball loose, and it was Trendon Matwire that came up with the recovery for the Yellow Jackets.
Going to be 2nd down and 8, their own 33-yard line now. Goldman looking to throw it, gets it to Ray. Ray will get to the 35-yard line, and he had to fight every bit for those yards, Mitch.
He did, but what I've just seen tonight is that he is making the first guy miss pretty much every time he gets the football. Hayden Rade's a big guy, but he shows some good agility right there and a little bit nimbleness right as he tried to make the guy miss and fell at his feet, and he got by the first one, picked up a few positive yards, and gives us a little bit more 3rd and manageable situation.
Going to call it 3rd down and 6 for the Yellow Jackets. The ball will be at their own 35-yard line. Goldman from the shotgun will get the snap. He looks, steps up in the pocket. Now the ball is going to be loose as he was going to throw it. There is a flag on the play as he was going to throw on the run. Looks like his arm was hit.
I think the referee is going to say he hit a lineman with the ball, and that's going to be an illegal touching. I thought he hit number 71 for Walker, the defensive lineman. I thought that's who he hit. He tried to throw the ball, and as he reared back with it, it banged off of somebody. But it looks like the referee throwing the flag when now he's waving it off. I think he threw a flag to call illegal touching like we hit at one of our own linemen. But for the end result, though, good thing the Jackets were able to recover the fumble and fall on the ball because that was a live ball, or was it incomplete pass perhaps?
All right, we got an injury timeout on the field, so we will take it with them as well. 3:33 left here in this half. It is Denham Springs 20, Walker 6. Back after this, it is Yellow Jackets football.
Fire and water, cleanup and restoration. Serve Pro of Livingston. The number one choice in cleanup and restoration is Serve Pro of Livingston. Whether it's water damage, fire damage, mold, storm, or construction issues, let the highly trained professionals at Serve Pro of Livingston clean and restore your property and make it like it never happened. Serve Pro of Livingston is prepared for just about anything and is open 24/7, so Serve Pro is faster to any disaster. Serve Pro of Livingston, Florida Boulevard, Denham Springs. Soon to be at the old Albertsons. Fire and water, cleanup and restoration. Serve Pro of Livingston.
Denham Springs High School football broadcasts on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by Mr. Gaddy's Pizza, Dr. Brandon Wax with the Eye Center of Denham Springs, Cypress Pharmacy and Gift Shop, Burning Lotus Tattoo of Denham Springs, the Law Office of Ivy L. Graham, Family Specialist, and Hunt's Tire Pros and Car Care in Central. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
Welcome back in, Yellow Jackets football. It is going to be 4th down for the Yellow Jackets. That will send the punt team out. It is going to be Luke Wilson to punt it away. Hits at the Wildcat 40, takes a roll to the 35, and it is going to be London trying to pick it up, and then he is going to be hit. But he will keep possession, so it will be 1st down for the Wildcats with 3:23 left here in this half of action. And Denham Springs 20, Walker 6. Josh Ward alongside Mitch Covington. All right, Mitch, we were just talking there in the break that how these Jamborees, because of how short it is and how condensed it is, like there just seems to never be any kind of flow to the game.
It's not right. Not a lot of flow, not a lot of long drives, and
Yes.
a chance to kind of get settled in. Because as soon as one drive ends, you look at the clock and somebody's almost in 2-minute offense trying to get back, put points on the board and having to rush downfield. So a lot of things happening quickly here. So you got to stay alert and keep up with it. So. Good job right there on the punt team. Jackson's again getting downfield, made a big hit. The Walker returner tried to scoop it up off the turf, a bouncing ball, and he bobbled it as Jackson hit him, but was able to hold on to it and keep possession.
Will be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. It will be from their own 34-yard line to start this drive. Evans from the shotgun, drops back, looks to his left, now looks right, steps up. He is going to be wrapped up, escapes the pressure, and then is brought down by a host of Yellow Jackets as they were swarming.
Yeah, the first hit, once again, going to Devin Mack, number 39. He got in there with the first hit, and then at nose guard right now as a substitution package, Jeremiah Ardoin was able to get in there and make the finishing hit to bring quarterback down to the ground and finish off the sack for the Yellow Jackets.
Also seeing number 98, Jason Dixon, in there for the Yellow Jackets as well. Going to be 2nd down and 12 after the loss of 2. Evans from the shotgun will get the snap, fakes the handoff, looks to throw. He does throw it, and it will be caught at the 35 and being tackled shy of the 40. On the reception for the Wildcats was Gabe Poe.
But that was a good job by Quentin Clay. Quick little throw out to the top, a little receiver screen. Quentin Clay fought off of one blocker, receiver trying to block him, was able to get upfield and make that tackle quickly. So Quentin Clay with 2 big tackles so far on the last couple of plays for the Yellow Jacket defense.
Makes it 3rd down and 6 for the Wildcats. They will have it at their own 38-yard line. Evans from the shotgun. 2 receivers to the near sideline. He will get the snap. He drops back, going to fire it downfield, and it is going to be out of bounds.
Yeah, he threw the fade route. The receivers ran a stop route. Just a little miscommunication right there. A lot of reads by the quarterbacks and receivers nowadays that they're both supposed to be seeing the same thing. The receiver thought he should have stopped because the defender kind of had a step on him. The quarterback went ahead and threw the fade, so no one around to catch that ball right there. So a good defensive series by the Yellow Jacket defense. If we recall correctly, just 1 first down for Walker. Am I right?
You're right, yeah.
We mentioned late in the first half they picked up a first down, and that was their first one. They haven't had a first down here in the second half, so a stellar performance tonight by Coach Prescott. Coach Stephen Prescott, new defensive coordinator this season.
First year, yep.
Getting a great start right now in Yellow Jacket Stadium, the Jamboree, so far giving up only 1 first down.
All right, makes it 4th down for the Wildcats, 4th and 6 from their own 38-yard line. They will send out the punt team. It is Tanner Kerner back to receive for the Yellow Jackets. He stands at his own 30-yard line. Here is a snap. Kick is away. Kerner will step up, fair catch it at the 35. Well, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. After this timeout, it is Yellow Jackets football.
Bank Plus makes it easier to bank. With extended drive-through hours plus 24/7 online and mobile banking, we're here when you need us. Lost your debit card? Get a new one instantly at any Bank Plus location. No waiting for the mail. And interactive teller machines offer drive-up personal service 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturdays. Your bank, your plus. Learn more at bankplus.net. Member FDIC.
Where can you get good neighbor service and surprisingly great insurance rates? At State Farm. Because State Farm agent Brandy Robertson is your one-stop shop in Denham Springs for the service you deserve at the price you want. So stop looking around. State Farm agent Brandy Robertson is ready to help. Visit betterwithbrandy.net for your surprisingly great rates today. Brandy Robertson, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
All right, welcome back in Yellow Jackets football. It is going to be a first down for Denham Springs to make it a Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. Live music on the weekends, trivia monthly, and line dancing on Wednesday nights. That's Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill. Mitch catches up.
Yeah, the Jackets going with that power formation with 2 minutes left. Look like they're trying to work on the clock, get some first downs. I did figure out that's going to be Preston Carmichael in the backfield with Hayden Ray when we go that full backfield set. Well, Enzo Landry right there took a hit near the line of scrimmage. It spun out to his right and then took off to the edge and got down the sideline for about a 20-yard gain right there.
All right, going to be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets from the Walker 42-yard line, and it is going to be a positive play there as they will get to the Walker 39-yard line. Was that Landry again?
That was Landry again, working off that left side right there. Tight end Orrin Russell into the game in this 2 tight end set that the Jackets used on the goal line a while ago, and now as they're trying to milk the last minute and a half of this Jamboree with a 14-point lead with this full house backfield.
Denham Springs 20, Walker 6. Clock will continue to run with 1:12 left here in this half. We are only doing the 2 12-minute halves here from Yellow Jacket Stadium.
I'll tell you what, so far I'm going to have to go ahead and give an A to that Yellow Jacket offensive line. They've done a really good job. We've gotten a lot of yards on the ground tonight.
Goldman from under center will hand it off to Hayden Ray in the backfield, who just continues to carry the pile with him. It is impressive how he is able to move human beings along with him. But as always, we will be coming to you each and every Friday night at DS Jacket Vision. We always ask that you give it a like and subscribe there at DS Jacket Vision. Again, just so we'll keep you up to date on all the things that we are doing here. Of course, you can catch us at Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the web at johnfineproductions.com as well. So 30 seconds left here in this contest.
I just want to talk good about the boys up front.
There you go.
Senior Angel Villa Gomez, Caden Campbell, a junior, Bryson McCabe, your junior center, Christian Ferguson, a senior right guard, and Nate Black, your senior right tackle. We were wondering before the game how they were going to hold up. They've done a very good job tonight.
Here is Goldman. We'll hand it off again to Landry in the backfield, and the clock continues to run with 7 seconds left. It will be 4th and short for the Yellow Jackets, but they will not have to run another play here. And the clock does hit triple zeros, and that will do it for this one. The Yellow Jackets win, and you can win by visiting Bank Plus for all of your personal and business financial needs. That is Bank Plus, 822 South Range Avenue in Denham Springs. 26, the final. Yellow Jackets with the win. And we are back with the Ralph Seller Chevrolet postgame show after this timeout on Yellow Jackets football.
The tradition continues. The Whistle Stop has been serving Denham Springs for years, and they're still doing that. But they're now locally owned by former Jackets football star Brandon Rishu. The Whistle Stop still has the same friendly staff, the great coffee and French cuisine, and wonderful service. And don't worry, Brandon owns the joint, but he won't be cooking any of the delectable cuisine or brewing the coffee. He'll let the professionals handle that, as they have been at the Whistle Stop, East Railroad Avenue in the heart of Denham Springs. Denham Springs High School football broadcast on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by Danny Pauline with 5 Star Printing, Horace Wilkinson, State Farm Insurance, Performance Collision Center, Sport Clips, BJ Pawn and Gun, Livingston Parish Clerk of Court Jason Harris, Family Wellness and Healthcare of Louisiana, and L. King Company. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
You know, Demco is more than just an electric company. We're your local member-owned co-op, your neighbors, your family, and your friends. Our not-for-profit structure means that we can invest in youth programs that empower the next generation to grow, lead, and make a difference. It's all part of our mission to strengthen our communities and create a brighter future for all. Demco, powering life and community. That's the cooperative difference.
Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill has it going on. Big Mike's has burgers, steaks, seafood, pizza, salad, sides, and desserts. 40 TVs. Big Mike's is open late after the game. Live music on the weekend. Locally owned and operated by Denham Springs High School graduate Big Mike O'Neill. Check out the Denham Springs Athletics Hall of Fame at Big Mike's. Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill, 123 Aspen Square, Denham, or delivery through DoorDash or Grubhub.
Personal injury?
Boyer, Abear, and Angel.
Auto accidents?
Boyer, Abear, and Angel.
Workers' compensation?
Boyer, Abear, and Angel.
One law firm can handle all of your legal needs, and you don't have to fight big city traffic to find them. Mark Boyer, Dominic Amato, Lucas Schenk, and Allison Costanza have a team of 12 attorneys ready to assist you. The lawyers at Boyer, Abear, and Angel have invaluable experience that allows them to provide expert legal counsel that's professional, prompt, and productive. Small town values, big city results. Boyer, Abear, and Angel.
Denham Springs High School football broadcasts on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by Triton Outpatient Clinic, Livingston Parish Assessor Jeff Taylor, Todd Caruso, Attorney at Law, Duke's Seafood and Steakhouse, Modad 1 Individual Sewage Treatment System, Forest Grove Plantation, and Billy Leach Professional Title Company. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
As we welcome you in to the Ralph Seller Chevrolet postgame show, brought to you by Ralph Seller Chevrolet, just over the Amite River in Baton Rouge. It is Ralph Seller Chevrolet, located at 15015 Florida Boulevard, and is open for your automotive needs. They are ready to serve you at a Chevrolet location familiar to you for over 40 years. Parts manager at Ralph Seller Chevrolet is Jim McChristian. He is a proud supporter of the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. Come visit Ralph Sellers Chevrolet. Okay, so Josh Ward alongside Mitch Covington, as it is a 20-6 win for the Yellow Jackets here in the Jamboree. And, you know, Mitch talking with Coach Beard and the Sports Center Yellow Jackets warm-up, he talked about how these, between Coach Chad Mahaffey at Walker and Coach Beard here at Denham Springs, they like to do this because it really is a good test to see where they are at this point, but knowing that when they play each other in week 9, there's going to be two different very teams that take the field then.
Right. There's going to be so much change from now until when we play much later. November, probably October, about 24th.
Oh, it's Halloween. It's a Thursday of Halloween.
Okay, so it will be right around there. The last couple days of October. So much is going to change between now and then. Quite honestly, they looked a little bit different offensively tonight, Walker, as far as scheme-wise, than they did in the scrimmage with Slidell. Maybe he was holding a few things back. Maybe his goal tonight was, we're going to run the football and we're going to work our run game, because they came out throwing the ball a good bit against Slidell. And so that's just one of the things, too. Coaches can take different approaches in the Jamboree. Nobody, has a won or loss on the schedule. Next week, everybody's 0-0, so it doesn't matter for playoff points or anything like that. So each coach may decide what they want to work on during the game, and when you see them week 9, it's going to be so much different. But it's great for these two teams to get out because you get your freshmen to play. Great job by our freshmen tonight, by the way, a 20-0 win for the Yellow Jacket freshmen. The JV get out there and play. Walker came out on top in that one, 6-0, and then your varsity plays, so you get all your guys some action. You're going to get a home gate 1 year. The next year, the other teams will get the home gate. It's just right here instead of always going to one place for the Jamboree, and about 6 different teams sharing things up. So it's a little bit better money situation, and then also you get to play everybody in your program. Everybody gets to work in and get ready for the season. So it's a great situation just to play your neighbor Walker right down the road.
Well, and I'll tell you this. I don't know if it's over the years that they have learned this or what the deal is, but whoever was on the schedule for tonight, they were spot on and ahead of schedule. This was the quickest we have ever had one. One that it started before 7:30, which is where we expected it to be, and one. It just
the
flew
warm
by.
up. I know the warm up between the JV and varsity game. They used to do a full warm up, like they would go 50 minutes almost between games from the JV to the varsity. Tonight, that was the first thing I noticed is we had the full squad out there stretching right away, and we went straight to team drills. And it was like, I think this game will start quicker than we have in the past. So it was only about 25 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, but from the end of the JV to the varsity, so a little bit quicker action tonight, and then of course the game, a lot of action happening back and forth, and so in quick and out quick, and no injuries either side. The injury for Walker looked more like a cramp situation there, the guy they had earlier. So really in all three games, everybody came out really healthy, and so that's a big goal for all the coaches anyway, and so everybody's going to be happy about that.
Absolutely. All right, we'll take a timeout. It is 20-6. Yellow Jackets with the win over Walker here in the 2025 Jamboree from Yellow Jacket Stadium. When we come back, we will continue on with the Ralph Seller Chevrolet postgame show back after this on Yellow Jackets Football.
Springs and surrounding school shirts, caps, clothing, and fan gear. And Sportin' Center is more than just athletics, offering services for businesses and organizations. Sportin' Center does in-house monogramming, screen printing, laser engraving, and large format printing. They can handle all of your advertising, promotional, and sign shop needs with personal, one-on-one customer service. Serving Livingston Parish for close to 50 years. Sportin' Center, 205 South Range Avenue. Sportin' Center, more than just a sports store.
Sunshine Cleaners is a family-owned dry cleaning business that has operated in the greater Baton Rouge area since 1995. Let Sunshine Cleaners' knowledgeable, professional, and friendly staff take care of your dry cleaning and laundry needs. Whether you drop off or they pick up at your home or office, Sunshine Cleaners makes it easy and convenient. Sunshine Cleaners, Railroad Avenue in Denham Springs, with locations at Walker and Baton Rouge. Visit sunshinecleaners.net.
You are our first priority at Innovative Audio. Innovative Audio offers the very best selection of mobile audio and video, window tint, and vehicle security. Innovative Audio's installation and tinting is the finest in the industry, and Innovative Audio's work comes with lifetime warranties on all audio, video, and tint installations. Most importantly, Innovative Audio specializes in serving you. You are our first priority at Innovative Audio, 1400 South Range, Denham Springs. Visit us on Facebook.
Hi, I'm Jacob Neal, a nurse practitioner at North Oaks Urgent Care. When you're not feeling your best, whether it's an illness, injury, or something in between, you shouldn't have to wait to feel better. That's why we're here for you every day from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 4 convenient locations. Walk-ins are always welcome, or you can save time by reserving your spot online at northoaks.org/urgent care. We're here to provide expert care right when you need it.
North Oaks Health System, improving lives every time, every touch.
Denham Springs High School football broadcasts on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by Hunt's Tire Pros and Car Care in Central, Safe Voyage Tattoo, Use Safe and Lock, District Court Judge Brian Abels, Mashan and Associates General Contractors, David Azar Shelter Insurance Company, and Coconut Willie's Daiquiris. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
With Bank Plus, your account is always just a tap away. Bank anywhere, anytime with free Bank Plus mobile banking. Pay bills, transfer funds, and check your account day or night with the Bank Plus mobile app. Deposit checks with the snap of a photo. Keep tabs on your account with transaction alerts. Lost your debit card? Disable it instantly from your smartphone. Then, turn it back on when you find it. Your bank, your plus. Learn more at bankplus.net. Member FDIC.
And we do welcome back in. It is Yellow Jackets football. It is the Ralph Seller Chevrolet postgame show. It is a 20-6 win for the Yellow Jackets over the rival Jamboree, over the rivals from Walker. And of course, we come to you at DS Jacket Vision on YouTube. It is always streaming live there at YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Make sure you give it a like and subscribe. Thank you all for joining us. Of course, we come to you on Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the web at johnfineproductions.com. So Josh Ward again alongside Mitch Covington as we continue on here with the Ralph Seller Chevrolet postgame show. Mitch, there's a lot of good things that you could see here from the Yellow Jackets.
It really was. Just really in all aspects of the game, you can find something good to talk about defensively. As we mentioned before, Coach Stephen Prescott is the first-year defensive coordinator here. Now, he's been on staff with Coach Beer really from back in the Live Oak days, and he's been here staff at Denham as a defensive back coach. And but now he's been promoted to the defensive coordinator. Great outing by them. Got to give a shout-out to Mr. Robert Graves.
Yes,
he
absolutely.
did give us a little update. They had 2 official first downs for Walker as the long run play they had where Quentin Clay caused the fumble. They did have the yards for the first down, so they get credit for that, but we caused a fumble on the play. So, but still a great game defensively for the Yellow Jackets defense. The offense moving the ball up and down the field. I believe we scored, I mentioned at one point, on 4 out of 5 possessions when we had the football, trying to get the ball down there to score that 6th possession, just running the clock out at the end. And, of course, we picked up a couple of first downs trying to run that clock out. So another positive possession for the Jacket offense. And then in the special team game, Johnny Bravo was perfect on the extra points, 2 field goals made. Good job with all the crew that's working with that. We got our holder, Dylan Johnson, senior holder number 16, did a good job, and then Evan Sykes with the snaps. Everything looked good tonight. Everything was on point. The kicks were solid and down the middle, and so very positive aspects for all 3 phases of the game for the Jackets.
Well, we were doing a little preview from Zachary last week for the scrimmage, and we called it a 2025 season preview, but it was kind of an opportunity for us to kind of get some things worked out here as we were making some changes at DS Jacket Vision as far as just trying to upgrade some of the graphics and stuff that you see there. So hopefully you have noticed that tonight and know that it takes a team to put all this together, and a great team we have here and excited for this season. But Mitch, would you say that the offensive line for you tonight was the most impressive part of this performance?
I would think that would give us the most optimism going forward. That was something we wanted to see. We wanted to have them come out there and, not only just hold their own, but they were opening up good running holes. It didn't matter which running back was in the game, whether it was Brenton Paul or Tanner Kerner or Enzo Landry. All 3 of them had success running the football. So if 3 different running backs are running the ball really well, that means the offensive line up front is doing a really good job. And so they came out and, got a good first opening field here on this dress rehearsal, as you would call a jamboree. And so as we move forward into next week, getting to Hammond, that's going to be something we look to build upon.
I would say also what you're probably disappointed with for the Yellow Jackets is that your defensive backfield was not tested hardly at all tonight. And I know in talking to Coach Prescott, he was like, look, that's some of the pieces that we're still trying to figure out. You've got some returning starters back there, but they're still trying to get that gelled and figured out. So you probably would have liked to see a Chad Mahaffey offense throw it down a little bit. But I do know that the Walker Wildcats lost a lot of people from that team last year, and they are kind of in I don't know if they would call it a rebuild, but they are definitely breaking in a lot of new players over there for the Wildcats.
And they are, and that group will get tested just like the O-line. They've been moving people around, some guys maybe from guard to tackle, or we're trying a new guy here in that spot. Same thing with the secondary, where we're trying some guys maybe at corner. Do they fit better at safety? Where might it work? We got about 6 guys in that mix on who's going to be in the rotation and who can help us out. And even though we didn't see a whole lot of action in the passing game back there, saw some good things of those guys, those cornerbacks getting off of blocks, making tackles when they needed to. The safeties coming back in here. We called Angel Moro's name a couple times early in the game, coming from a safety position to make some tackles. Lucas Gill, a senior safety, he made a big hit to break up a pass in the first half right there. So we saw some good things from the Jacket secondary, but there's going to be more tests as the season comes along.
Well, absolutely. We will take a timeout here. When we come back, we will talk about that first official test that will be next Friday against the Hammond High Tornadoes. That will be from Tornado Alley at the campus of Hammond High School. I did a little site check. I'll give you an update on how that went after this timeout. Again, 20-6, the final here from the Jamboree from Yellow Jacket Stadium. We will take a timeout. We'll continue on with the Ralph Sellers Chevrolet postgame show. Back after this, it is Yellow Jackets football.
Hey, it's Max Sellers from Ralph Sellers Chevrolet. We're again excited to be a sponsor of the Denham Springs Fighting Yellow Jackets football team this year. We appreciate all the support from your community in our first few years in business, and we are excited about things to come. Whether it's a new or used car, truck, or SUV, award-winning service from our dedicated service and parts staff, or even an outstanding collision repair for your vehicle, Ralph Sellers Chevrolet wants to earn your business. From our Ralph Sellers Chevrolet dealership family to your school family, go Jackets!
4 decades, Smith Accounting is celebrating its 40th anniversary. With Randy Smith, along with Mickey McMorris and a terrific staff, Smith Accounting Services can handle all of your accounting needs. Personal taxes, computerized payroll services, corporate income taxes, business taxes, and bookkeeping. Smith Accounting Services, 227 East Railroad, Denham Springs. Celebrating 40 years of service, count on it at Smith Accounting Services.
Fire and water, cleanup and restoration. Serve Pro of Livingston. The number one choice in cleanup and restoration is Serve Pro of Livingston. Whether it's water damage, fire damage, mold, storm, or construction issues, let the highly trained professionals at Serve Pro of Livingston clean and restore your property and make it like it never happened. Serve Pro of Livingston is prepared for just about anything and is open 24/7, so Serve Pro is faster to any disaster. Serve Pro of Livingston, Florida Boulevard, Denham Springs. Soon to be at the old Albertsons. Fire and water, cleanup and restoration. Serve Pro of Livingston.
Denham Springs High School football broadcasts on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by BJ Pawn and Gun, Mr. Gaddy's Pizza, Liberty Auto Sales, Cypress Pharmacy and Gift Shop, Burning Lotus Tattoo of Denham Springs, and Quality Furniture Restoration. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
If you're a small business owner in the Denham Springs area, think about everything you need to help your business succeed. You need a plan, happy customers, steady cash flow, and an insurance agent that gets you. State Farm agent Brandy Robertson runs a small business in the Denham Springs community area too, and she understands the unique needs of local business owners. She will make it easy to choose the right protection at the right price. Because one thing you don't need is insurance stress. Call State Farm agent Brandy Robertson for your small business needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Bond Roten Eye Clinic is your full-service eye care specialist. Dr. Hunter Bond and Dr. Chris Roten and their staff expertly handle all of your eye care needs. A former Jackets football player, Dr. Hunter Bond is proud to serve the Denham Springs community that gave so much to him. You can visit Bond Roten Eye Clinic at 222 Veterans Boulevard in Denham Springs or call 791-2020. That's Bond Roten Eye Clinic in Denham Springs with locations in Hammond and Ames.
Welcome back in to the Ralph Seller Chevrolet postgame show. 20-6, the final here from Yellow Jacket Stadium for the annual Jamboree between the Yellow Jackets and the Walker Wildcats. As we mentioned earlier, they will meet in Week 9. So, Mitch, before we'll go ahead and put a lid on this one, and we will look to next week where Yellow Jackets will open the season on the road at Hammond High School in what they call Tornado Alley. So, I kind of teased that I did a little site visit. So, last weekend I went to Hammond High. I was going for my mom's birthday lunch in Hammond, so it worked out great. So I went to Hammond High first, and let me tell you, we might miss Woodlawn. If y'all remember
Woodlawn
that,
was better, huh?
Yes, actually,
for the broadcast crew.
For the broadcast crew, it was rough. This one it could be worse. The grass was this high. If you're watching that DS Jacket Vision, I mean, it was. So I sent a picture to Coach Beard, and why I sent him a picture of the end zone is because their goalposts are not up. It's just the one. They're missing the uprights. There are no uprights on it. So I was a little curious about that. They got a little bit of work to do. The field was high. The Tornado Alley sign was half ripped off the press box. So I think it's going to be fun next Friday. It's going to be a good time. Hopefully the rain and weather works out for us, because I do believe we will come to you from the bleachers next week. So
there's a good chance, we'll be sitting out there with the fans.
Yes.
And
with the fans who will need a fan, because if it's well, they said it might get cool, and by cool it may be, but we are making some provisions to see how we're going to get that game brought to you, because we'll be there and we'll with big smiles on, so it'll be fun. But Mitch, when you look at a Hammond team under second-year coach Buckles out there at Hammond, you always talk about teams. It's kind of a cliche, but it's so true that teams always making that jump from season 1 to season 2 under a new head coach.
Yeah, and if you remember last year when he was in his first year as the head coach, we opened up the season with him. Probably felt we might come in with maybe a little bit of a comfortable win, perhaps. I don't know. That was maybe the hope, but it sure didn't play out that way. It was a tight game from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. We held them out of the end zone at the end, for they were in the Yellow Jacket red zone, and we made a good defensive stand. So a one-score game last year with the Hammond Tornadoes, and so that crew with another year under their belt, and players with another year under the system with that coaching staff, who knows what to expect right here. The Yellow Jackets, of course, came out tonight looking really good in the Jamboree. Can we carry that success over? If you back up a little bit too to another week with Zachary last week, I think they played pretty well in that one. So couple of good steps, but of course those are all the practice games. All that's behind us. Now all the scoreboard's going to count for real. The record's going to count. So as we kick it off for the regular season next week, it'll be interesting to see if we can build off of this good preseason.
Absolutely, and you will open the season, as we just talked about there, at Hammond, and then you got 2 weeks at home, and you got the defending Division I non-select state champs, as you see there if you're watching. Central Wildcats come into Yellow Jacket Stadium. It'll be followed by a home game at Woodlawn. So that's just your first kind of slate of games coming up, or your first three, if you will. And look, Central coming up here, you know what you hope is that a team doesn't overlook a Hammond going on the road. Look, I think it's a great learning point for the coaches to not start looking ahead, to stay focused on Hammond. And remember, as close, 19-14 was the score last year. And I think I think you were correct in saying that maybe thought we were going to go into that one and kind of breeze through it and get ready to go to Central in week 2. So it'll be interesting to see how they prepare for it. But it just seems like from the Zachary scrimmage to the Jamboree here tonight that all the steps are going in the right direction.
I believe they are. I think you have to be excited about what you saw tonight. You have to be excited about what you've seen last week. A lot to be optimistic about as we move forward, and hope this offense can keep being, aggressive. And I say aggressive not necessarily just in play calling, but big plays. We were taking, running plays and popping off 20, 25-yard runs. Then Gomes was making passing plays over the top, big plays right there. Hayden Ray's catching short passes and running an extra 20 to 30 yards with it. And so if we can keep that momentum going forward, you got to be happy about that.
Absolutely. All right, we are going to take a timeout. Earlier in the Sporting City Yellow Jackets warm-up, we were unable to get to offensive coordinator Ryan Fournier, so we're going to take this time out. Mitch is going to head out of here, and when we come back, we will have that interview with you with offensive coordinator Ryan Fournier. 20-6, the final here from Yellow Jacket Stadium. We are back for this on the Ralph Seller Chevrolet postgame show.
Peak Performance Physical Therapy is excited to announce the opening of our newest clinic location in Watson. We are located at 32871 Highway 16 at the corner of Amite Church Road and Highway 16. And don't forget about our Denham Springs Clinic, located at 145 Aspen Square, next to Spectrum Fitness Club. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone.
If your saving for retirement approach involves the phrase, "I'll get around to it someday," Edward Jones can help. When it comes to meeting your goals, time can be on your side, and there's no better time than now to get started toward your retirement goals. Edward Jones Financial Advisors Scott Landry and Sims White can help. Stop by their office at 179 Del Orleans. That's Scott Landry and Sims White at Edward Jones, 179 Del Orleans, right across from the post office. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Denham Springs High School football broadcasts on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by Brandon Rishu with Smart Move Real Estate, Baton Rouge KOA Campground in Denham Springs, the law office of IVL Graham Family Specialists, Brian Ross, owner, OK Computers and Auto Sales, Dr. Chip Bankston and Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Pony Up Restoration is now open at the Old Dave's Hardware. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
4 decades, Smith Accounting is celebrating its 40th anniversary. With Randy Smith, along with Mickey McMorris and a terrific staff, Smith Accounting Services can handle all of your accounting needs. Personal taxes, computerized payroll services, corporate income taxes, business taxes, and bookkeeping. Smith Accounting Services, 227 East Railroad, Denham Springs. Celebrating 40 years of service, count on it at Smith Accounting Services.
The tradition continues. The Whistle Stop has been serving Denham Springs for years, and they're still doing that. But they're now locally owned by former Jackets football star Brandon Rishu. The Whistle Stop still has the same friendly staff, the great coffee and French cuisine, and wonderful service. And don't worry, Brandon owns the joint, but he won't be cooking any of the delectable cuisine or brewing the coffee. He'll let the professionals handle that, as they have been at the Whistle Stop, East Railroad Avenue in the heart of Denham Springs.
Your local sporting goods store is Sportin' Center. Sportin' Center has all your Denham Springs and surrounding school shirts, caps, clothing, and fan gear. And Sportin' Center is more than just athletics, offering services for businesses and organizations. Sportin' Center does in-house monogramming, screen printing, laser engraving, and large format printing. They can handle all of your advertising, promotional, and sign shop needs with personal, one-on-one customer service. Serving Livingston Parish for close to 50 years. Sportin' Center, 205 South Range Avenue. Sportin' Center, more than just a sports store.
If you're a small business owner in the Denham Springs area, think about everything you need to help your business succeed. You need a plan, happy customers, steady cash flow, and an insurance agent that gets you. State Farm agent Brandy Robertson runs a small business in the Denham Springs community area too, and she understands the unique needs of local business owners. She will make it easy to choose the right protection at the right price. Because one thing you don't need is insurance stress. Call State Farm agent Brandy Robertson for your small business needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Bond Roten Eye Clinic is your full-service eye care specialist. Dr. Hunter Bond and Dr. Chris Roten and their staff expertly handle all of your eye care needs. A former Jackets football player, Dr. Hunter Bond is proud to serve the Denham Springs community that gave so much to him. You can visit Bond Roten Eye Clinic at 222 Veterans Boulevard in Denham Springs or call 791-2020. That's Bond Roten Eye Clinic in Denham Springs with locations in Hammond and Ames.
And we welcome back into the Ralph Seller Chevrolet postgame show. Again, in the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up, we were to have this pre-recorded interview with offensive coordinator Coach Ryan Fournier, and due to time constraints, we had to move up, and are going to move back a little bit. So we will now go to that. It will say Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up, but it was pre-recorded, and we will now play it in the Ralph Seller Chevrolet postgame show. It is offensive coordinator Ryan Fournier. It is the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up. Yellow Jackets and the Walker Wildcats Jamboree action from Yellow Jacket Stadium. I'm Josh Ward, and we bring into the show for the first time offensive coordinator Coach Ryan Fournier. Coach, appreciate the time and welcome to the hot seat.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, man. I'm glad to be here.
Coach, I want to go back to your coaching career and where it started. Kind of give us the rundown of where it did start, where it went, and how it got you to Denham Springs.
You know, I started back home at Salafouche High School, had some great experiences there, and coached with some really good people, and took me to a couple of different places in Atlanta, Georgia at one point, all the way to Louisiana Tech, where I worked as a GA. Found some stops at both Destrehan High School and Woodlawn High School before eventually becoming the head football coach at HL Bourgeois. And then I had this friend of mine named Brett Beard who gave me a call and offered me an opportunity to come be the offensive coordinator here at Denham Springs. And, you know, this area and this school had always been a destination spot for me. And despite, you know, being in the position I was at HL, but I just couldn't pass up on the opportunity to come to a place like Denham, you know, going into, my fifth or sixth season here and you know, loving it. I can't say enough good things about this school and about this community, and you know, just excited to be a part of such a great football program.
Well, it's not all the time that a head coach gets poached to become an offensive coordinator. So how hard of a sell was it for Coach Beard to get you to Denham Springs, or was the decision pretty easy?
No, I was actually, when he called me and offered me, I initially told him no. And, I really did enjoy my time as a head coach. And, you know, that was always a spot that, you know, as a coach, you dream about having. I'm a head coach at a 5A school in a district with places like Hahnville and Destrehan and East St. John. So that was a big thing for me. So I told him no initially. If you know Coach Beard, you know he's stubborn. And he kept calling and he kept asking me, and he finally wore me down. And next thing I knew, I was making a trip to Denham and getting a tour of the place, and realized that this is where my heart was and this is where I needed to be.
Do want to talk about your relationship with Brett Beard. I want to go back 3 years ago. You were the offensive coordinator. There was a change of duties, some change of titles, and you stuck with the team that year. The following year, you work under Coach Kyle Caskey, who came in as offensive coordinator. A year later, you're back in this seat. What was that experience like for you?
You know, 2022, we had a really good football team. We had a shot to, going into that year, and we knew how good we were, and we felt like we had an opportunity to make a deep run. And, we just kind of fell stale a little bit, you know, during the season offensively. And, Coach Beard and I had some different opinions on some things with the offense. And, you know, he's the head football coach, and I respect him and I trust him. And in the long run, winning is the most important thing to me. So when we decided to make that change and I kind of took a back seat, you know, as far as play calling goes, that didn't change, you know, where I wanted to be. It didn't change even my feelings towards him. The biggest thing for me was that I just wanted to get better as a coach, see where, things went sideways, if you will, and what can I do better? Because the fact is we weren't scoring enough points at that point. I never wavered on my belief that I could do this as offensive coordinator, and I never wavered, on him as a head coach and as a friend, because you got to remember, well, yes, I work for him, but him and I go back to, I was 18 years old when I first met him and we first became friends. So I always trusted his vision. And, we brought in Coach Caskey, an NFL guy with a ton of experience. And, I worked for him for a year, and it was able to give me an opportunity to kind of reset some philosophies offensively. And, I spent a lot of that year studying football, not only, what we did with Coach Caskey, but also, kind of football trends, if you will, that were going around. And, looking to try to win a whole bunch of football games with this team.
I want to switch gears now to that 1 year that you did work with Coach Caskey. Is there anything specifically that you did under him or worked with him or saw that he did from the experience that he had that you took with you that you may use to this day?
Kyle was very creative. I thought he did a great job of using formations and shifting, and moving people pre-snap to gain extra blockers or gain an extra number in the pass game. So that was one thing that I absolutely took away, from him. Another thing, we use it today. Kyle had gone to using wristbands, and I had never been a wristband coach before, and I was really hesitant to do it. And it was one thing he did to try to help simplify with the kids. And, man, the kids really did take off with that, and it was something that I kept. And, to this day, we use our wristbands. And I put my own spin on it, but definitely that started there with him. So I definitely took advantage of that year, between the things I learned from Caskey and even learning from the kids and, with working with the different position groups.
As we look at the personnel that you have offensively for this season, as you get ready for Walker coming into Yellow Jacket Stadium, offensive line is where it always starts. It's said every year and every level of football from the pros all the way down. So I know the offensive line is probably the one part right now that y'all are still trying to get those last few little pieces together. So kind of walk us through that and how that is coming together.
We played a pretty good Zachary team on Thursday, and they have a really good box, and they threw a lot at us, man. They're throwing safety blitzes and corner blitzes, and, they did a lot of stuff at us. We still got competition there. We have a lot of good football players up there. We just got to figure out, who the best five are, because we do have some depth. So it's not a bad problem to have right now, still trying to figure out that first five. And they have two great coaches with Carl Dijon and Coach Hildy for us. And those guys work hard every single day to make sure the O-line is prepared.
Let's talk about the quarterback position. You have John Goldman returning for his senior season, and he kind of has the lone set of keys to the car this year. So talk about your senior quarterback and what you expect out of him.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. That kid is special. I would not take the field with any other quarterback in the state. I can promise you that. John Goldman is the leader of our football team. I wish we could take his pulse during a game because I don't think it is ever elevated. He is always the calmest person, and I appreciate that about him. And I fully anticipate him having an absolute monster senior year. As a junior, there was a lot of teams in the state of Louisiana that he could have started at quarterback for. We were lucky enough to have a kid like Jerry Horn last year who John sat behind, learned from, and became a better young man and a better football player. As you said, he has the keys to the car now, and man, we got some really good skill players to put around him, including his twin brother Sean. So I'm telling you, I think John is in for a monster senior year, and I fully anticipate that kid having a lot of success this season.
Let's talk about some of those receivers in the backfield. I know you did have a new addition to the backfield this year with a transfer coming over from Live Oak. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we did get a big boy from Live Oak that's going to play some H-back and some tight end stuff for us. Hayden Ray. First and foremost, he's a tremendous human being. That kid has come in and works his tail off and has just fit perfectly into that locker room. He's a big old boy. He's very talented. He's a great blocker. He runs the football really well when he has opportunities. If you saw last week against Zachary, I mean, he caught a stick route and carried about 6 defenders for a first down. And another opportunity, he caught kind of a little hot read slant that we threw to him, and he took it 60 for a touchdown. So, outside at the receiver spot, man, we really have a lot of talent. We got some speed spots with Brenton Paul. He's going to play some running back and wide receiver for us this year. Trey Seals, who will be a new starter this year. He played sparingly for us last year, but he has taken over full-time as our slot receiver. Sure, he's only going to be a junior this season. And then, as I mentioned earlier, our other outside receiver is Sean Goldman. Sean has gotten much faster. It's kind of been the running joke the last couple of years that his speed was the one thing holding him back, and I really can't say that's true this year. But Sean's in for a really good year. Him and his brother have such a great connection. I tell them all the time I want them to do the twin thing. Just somehow they are able to always find each other when things break down. So I fully anticipate them having, a lot of those moments. We'll be somewhat running back by committee. Any other reason, then we have a lot of talented running backs. It's not like any of them have many weaknesses. They're all some really good players. It's one of the deepest backfields we've had since I've been here. We have Enzo Landry, who was a kid that played a lot of JV for us last year and really has put things together from a leadership standpoint and, better with ball security, better with ball handling this year. That's really put him over the top. We have Tanner Kerner, who's another one that, he's a player that you can't even tackle him in a phone booth. He's really good with the ball in his hands. He'll be a great return man for us as well. Tanner's a lot of fun to watch. He's only going to be a junior. He has a couple of really good years ahead of him. And then you got to add in LJ Forte in there too. LJ's a kid that, had a lot of injuries last year that kind of held him back, but he's come on strong, both in the spring and over the summer and throughout training camp. And with many things that we do in our offense, we only have one of them on the field at a time as far as running backs go. So thankfully, they're a very unselfish group, and they all just want to see everybody else have success because if one guy has success, we all have success.
Yeah, what I heard there is I'm going to need a bigger chart for this season for the offensive side of the ball. So good, as you said, good problem to have. Coach, it was such a joy to have you with us. I know we don't usually get to talk, but getting your insight on this and getting a little in-depth with the offense, we certainly appreciate the time, and I really enjoyed the visit, and we look forward to working with you this season.
Yeah, anytime, man. I'm excited. We have I think we have a special season ahead of us with a great group of kids and a great group of coaches. I think we'll have a chance to be talking to each other maybe deep into November.
That is offensive coordinator of the Yellow Jackets, Coach Ryan Fournier, and we are back after this timeout. It is a Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up.
Denham Springs High School football broadcast on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by Livingston Parish Clerk of Court Jason Harris, Family Wellness and Healthcare of Louisiana, El King Company, Performance Collision Center, Denny Pauline with 5-Star Printing, Horace Wilkinson State Farm Insurance, Sport Clips, and Dr. Brandon Wax with the Eye Center of Denham Springs. We thank you so much for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill has it going on. Big Mike's has burgers, steaks, seafood, pizza, salad, sides, and desserts. 40 TVs. Big Mike's is open late after the game. Live music on the weekend. Locally owned and operated by Denham Springs High School graduate Big Mike O'Neill. Check out the Denham Springs Athletics Hall of Fame at Big Mike's. Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill, 123 Aspen Square, Denham, or delivery through DoorDash or Grubhub.
Like it was never there, Louisiana Tree Pro is your tree care specialist, expertly handling tree removal, tree trimming, stump grinding, and storm cleanup with 24-hour emergency tree removal. And Louisiana Tree Pro does it the right way with properly licensed and insured professionals who will get the job done quickly and safely with a quality result. Their goal at Louisiana Tree Pro is to leave your property better than they found it. That's why their motto is, like it was never there. Denham Springs owned and operated by Josh Howard. That's Louisiana Tree Pro.
You know, Demco is more than just an electric company. We're your local member-owned co-op, your neighbors, your family, and your friends. Our not-for-profit structure means that we can invest in youth programs that empower the next generation to grow, lead, and make a difference. It's all part of our mission to strengthen our communities and create a brighter future for all. Demco, powering life and community. That's the cooperative difference.
Hey, it's Max Sellers from Ralph Sellers Chevrolet. We are again excited to be a sponsor of the Denham Springs Fighting Yellow Jackets football team this year. We appreciate all the support from your community in our first few years in business, and we are excited about things to come. Whether it's a new or used car, truck, or SUV, award-winning service from our dedicated service and parts staff, or even an outstanding collision repair for your vehicle, Ralph Sellers Chevrolet wants to earn your business. From our Ralph Sellers Chevrolet dealership family to your school family, go Jackets!
Bank Plus, together with Zelle, makes it easy to send money straight from your smartphone to friends, family, the yard guy, babysitters, or millions of others with access to Zelle. So yeah, pretty much anyone. And of course, they can all send you money too. Settle that dinner tab with Zelle. It's free, fast, and secure. And right in the Bank Plus mobile app. Your bank, your plus. Learn more at bankplus.net. Member FDIC. Zelle is available to United States bank account holders only. Terms and conditions apply.
Denham Springs High School football broadcasts on YouTube at DS Jacket Vision. Please subscribe. Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the net at johnfineproductions.com are brought to you in part by Forest Grove Plantation, Liberty Auto Sales, Shea Landry Closing Attorney, Milestone Title, Triton Outpatient Clinic, Livingston Parish Assessor Jeff Taylor, Modad One Individual Sewage Treatment System, and Duke Seafood and Steakhouse. We thank you for your support and patronage of these local businesses.
Since 1898, the Livingston Parish News, an award-winning media outlet, has served as the news source for our community. The Livingston Parish News is available in print and online at www.livingstonparishnews.com. For complete and comprehensive coverage of what is making news in Livingston Parish, as well as Livingston Parish sports, we have you covered. Opinions, politics, lifestyle, and the arts. No matter how big or small the story, the Livingston Parish News is your source for community news in our parish. Serving Livingston Parish for more than 120 years, it's the Livingston Parish News.
As we welcome back in to the Ralph Sellers Chevrolet postgame show, 22-6, the final here from Yellow Jacket Stadium for the 2025 Jamboree between the Walker Wildcats. Next week, it will be Denham Springs on the road. Week 1 officially gets underway next week, as it will be Denham Springs at Hammond from Hammond High School. As always, we will be there with you, and it will be 6 o'clock for the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up. So if you can't make the trip, please obviously catch us with it at DS Jacket Vision. I always ask you to hit the subscribe button on Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the web at johnfineproductions.com. Fun night here for the Jamboree from Yellow Jacket Stadium, but again, it will be next week at Hammond. And I want to thank all the crew here. Lamine Figueroa back at the studio, Chris Ledoux, camera operator, producer Darren Ferrente, color commentary Mitch Covington, executive producer John Fine, and year number 29 of producing Yellow Jackets football, and yours truly on play-by-play. Such a fun night here. Glad you could join us, and hope you can join us next week for the Yellow Jackets and the Tornadoes from Hammond High School. For all of us involved here, I'm Josh Ward saying good night, everybody.
You've been listening to Denham Springs High School football on Family Radio 91.9 FM Baton Rouge, on the net at johnfineproductions.com. And on YouTube, please subscribe at DS Jacket Vision. Josh Ward on play-by-play with Mitch Covington on color commentary. Producer Darren Ferrante. DS Jacket Vision camera operator Chris Ledoux. And station engineer Lamine Figueroa. Denham Springs High School football broadcasts are a John